Well, well, well. If it
It's
isn't
finally time! Let's go!
If it isn't my good friend, Mr. Whoops, that was the wrong tab. Mr. Eric the Audible.
Been a while. Been a while. Long friend of the stream. Been a while.
Hey, long-time friend, first-time streamy. I'm shit, man.
I don't think so. I think I've been on a few of your live rap battle streams.
You definitely have. You definitely have.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
So,
what are we gonna do today, Eric? What are we doing?
okay. So, me and Mike, we're what you might call a FNAF fan, or as the Spanish-speaking community might say, aficionados de la FNAF. Okay, and we just thought it'd be fun to do like some streams maybe where we're watching FNAF content. So this is the first one ever. Bear with us, but.
Yes.
Faz bear with anyway, right now we are watching we solved the original story of FNAF. It's the 5K special of a YouTuber called JoeDoughBoy. Can we get them in the description? Do we have them in the description?
I can add them.
Okay, let's add them in the description real quick because this is JoeDoughBoi's 5K special. And looking at their previous content on the channel, it appears as though they did a lot of like sort of like shitposty, like super small videos. And they've established somehow 5K fans, which is phenomenal. And they put in the effort to make this hour-long video. I chose this because it's been out for like a week, and it's the original story of FNAF. So it looks like we're covering 1 through 4, which is really where I think me and Mike feel the most confident with our beliefs of the FNAF lore. And so we're gonna watch this. We're gonna give our criticisms and stuff. This will be our first time watching it, so I haven't seen it. Mike hasn't seen it.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into it.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. How do you spell the?
I can give you the link.
Joe
to their channel. Let me give you the link. Because I gave you the video link. Let me give you the link.
I was just gonna add them in the description, but that works too.
Oh, well, that's fine. Yeah, you can also do @JoeDoughBoy Israel, but like.
Joe Israel.
No.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yep, got it. Okay, they are now added in the description. Also, I'm gonna monetize this stream. Okay, sweet. All right.
Are we ready?
I think we're just about ready to go here. Are you ready?
Dude, I've been ready. Okay. So you know. We wanted to start the stream at 6 o'clock sharp. Okay, we were gonna meet at 5:15. Then I had to eat, so we met at 5:30. But then I had to use the restroom, and I fought for my life on the toilet. So I was gone for like 12 minutes, and then we boot up, and it takes forever. But we're here. We're here now.
We're
ready to watch the stream.
I'm gonna check out the audio real quick. Oh no, we're good. We're so good. Oh, we're so back. We're so back. Hey, what's up, Micah? Welcome to the stream.
Dream theory.
Okay, dream.
Theory
I love dreams.
Dislike with a passion. But I have to admit, it's the only theory that seems to properly explain FNAF 1 through 4 before it was retconned. At the time, that is. You see, there's a new theory I thought about, that with the help of my friends became much more clear. What if I told you FNAF 1 through 4, the Silver Eyes, and FNAF World all connected seamlessly without plot holes and inconsistencies?
Impossible.
What if I told you that we knew the retcon Scott was referring to? What if I told you we solved Five Nights at Freddy's?
I'm digging the PowerPoint presentation.
I am too. It's pretty great.
I was gonna say, I think it's funny how if you look at older FNAF content, a lot of it was very much like here is this one theory, like this weird theory. We're gonna look at the evidence supporting it, the evidence against it. Yeah. And it was like usually like 10-minute videos. And now YouTubers are doing like whole narratives in the beginning of the theory. Me and my friends decided to put the pieces together, and we found. Yeah.
Dude, they did it, Seth. They solved Freddy Fazbear.
They solved it. That this theory is split up into 2 parts. It's important that you know what each part entails, as they're both important to view in order.
Yo, Daco's going crazy.
Daco's going hard,
confidence, and evidence.
Hey, what's up, Scott?
Theory. Part 1 is focused on the games and the explanation.
Friend of the stream.
So don't worry, you'll get the full story alone in this video. Part 2 is focused on addressing all the supporting connections found in FNAF World and FNAF The Silver Eyes, as well as what we theorize is the retcon Scott was referring to in his Reddit post. It'll also include some tips Zipper and I have when it comes to analyzing the evidence FNAF presents. Being covered by my great friend Zipperbomb.
Ooh, Zipperbomb.
He's also the guy
Shout
who made
out.
the super snazzy thumbnail, by the way. Unfortunately,
That's a good
part
thumbnail.
2 will have to come out at a later
Yeah.
date, due to
Oh,
more
this
time
is
being
only
needed
part
putting
1?
together.
Oh shit!
Oh, you said you solved the original story. I don't see a part 1 anywhere in here. This is false advertising. I'm
Fuck,
sick of this.
man.
What the? What was that?
It was Ice Chico.
Can we
what
go
are you
back?
talking about? Don't
Can I
steal
go back
Ice
frame
Chico,
by
bro.
frame? Oh, I can't go frame by frame. Okay. Well, if we
I'm
missed
also
something, we
aware
missed
of
something.
just how long this video is, but trust me, if you really want to understand something that aims to explain everything before,
Next FNAF present anything
what
one? That's
was the
crazy,
retcon,
bro. That's
then
crazy.
it's important to watch through everything, and not just skim through it or speed it up to try to cheat the system. You're going to have to take your time with this kind of thing. The most important thing of all to keep in mind...
Was that you, or was that the...
That was not me.
Okay.
This is just a theory, meaning that if
True,
you have a
said
different
it!
perspective of what the original story was, then that's okay. Just because I claim to have solved FNAF, it doesn't mean I actually did. I actually meant it more.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's
that.
crazy.
See, Mike, we're not useless after all. We
Exact-
can add our own little
Shit,
spin on things. See how it works
man.
out.
Hey,
There's an
what's up, Richie?
exaggeration.
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the
In
stream.
order to draw your attention. Secret YouTuber trick there. I think we can collectively agree that no one will truly solve FNAF unless Scott comes out and says something.
Hi guys!
Hey,
Before we
Scott.
get into part 1, there are a few
Scott
things I
jump
want to
scare.
make clear as well.
White
It's
man
important
jump
that we
scare.
go over these in order to understand FNAF and the process that went into solving the original intent.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Once a shit poster, always a shit poster. What can I say?
Seems like
Oh my god!
I believe we should recap on what exactly Dream Theory is in terms of
Jesus.
solving FNAF
Sorry for the folks at
4.
home.
Specifically Ultimate Dream Theory, in order to compare and contrast what was commonly agreed as the only way to solve FNAF and the solution I present today. I recommend this video specifically by Cyrus Squawks, as
Oh,
it connects
shit.
much more compared to MatPat's
It's a good
original
video.
Dream Theory video. Link in the description below. I suggest pausing here and going to watch that video before returning to continue this.
God damn it. Did you see it? I'm assuming you did.
I saw the Ultimate Dream Theory video. I'll be honest, I don't remember a lot of it, but
Shit. It's fine.
No,
it's
no.
fine. It's fine. It's
yeah,
fine.
screw you, Joe.
Yeah,
We're going
fuck
to
you.
I'm not-
I'm just kidding. No, Joe. Hey, listen.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
The fading of the Arial font.
Ooh.
Alright, let's start with the obvious. The
It scared
infamous
us too,
livestream where
Micah.
Scott
Fuck,
gave
that shit
3
was
clues
loud.
to guide theorists in the right direction. These clues are meant to be solved using only FNAF 1 through 4. We
True.
know this because just 3 days before this livestream, Scott confirmed in a Steam post that the story was complete and the new game, FNAF World, would not be canon despite obviously tying into the lore later on. The book,
Okay.
Silver Eyes, would also not be released for some time. So this means we need to solve FNAF only using evidence from these first 4 games alone,
I agree.
along with this evidence being used to solve these clues specifically.
Mhm.
However, another important part of these clues is to understand the context in which Scott had shown them, and how they responded to what was said in the livestream where they were covered. Thanks to FNAFlore.com and the Freddy Facts blog Tumblr page, we're able to view and interpret that context. Seriously, huge thanks to both of these pages. Links
Shout
in the
out.
description below to
JoeDoughBoy. Oh my gosh, I'm actually super impressed. This looks like his first commentary video, and he's doing a
Yeah.
really good job. Like better than most at sourcing his shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Check them
100%.
If we follow the stream, we'll see that the order of the clues are as follows. In the FNAF 4 minigame, why would the tiny toy chica be missing her beak? Seen on stream at 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 55 seconds.
This bro said timestamps.
Fuck, man.
Exhibit A, Your Honor.
Your Honor, my client clearly said, nuh-uh.
What is seen in shadows is easily misunderstood in the mind of a child, seen on stream at 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 52 seconds. Lastly, 4 games, 1 story, seen on stream at 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 22 seconds. So in order to understand what these clues were a response to, we need to rewind the stream to see what MatPat and the others were discussing. As a result, we can speculate that the clues are in response to the comments as follows. In the FNAF 4
says,
minigame, why
holy
would the
fuck,
tiny toy
it's
chicken
Eric
be
the Audible. You're alive. I missed you.
Jump scare. Inbound. Eric the Audible only appears in your office when Golden Rocco is about to jump scare you.
Their beak is a response to the discussion of red herrings and Easter eggs in the games.
True.
At 1 hour, 6 minutes, and
I actually don't know if that's true at all. I'm just going to take his word for it.
22 seconds, MatPat addresses Scott's statement of, there are no random Easter eggs, and he brings up how he thinks that Scott is contradicting himself by stating how he believes that Scott changed the date from 87 to 83 based on how he viewed the source code hints in the teasers.
Actually, I guess I'll go before Matt here. That is one of the biggest, like one of the things I hate the most about FNAF 4 was the fact that it felt like one big bait and switch. That it was like, because you remember, right, in the source code, it was 87, 87, 87. And then in the game, we get one Easter egg that points to it being 83.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, it just seems like it's mean. It's mean for the sake of just being, like you said, a complete just bait and switch for the sake of it. It felt like.
It didn't feel like it did anything.
Yeah.
I would agree. So it's interesting, right? It's also hard to tell, Scott. Now since we know you're listening, it's also really hard to tell what is and isn't an Easter egg or clue, right? So as I believe it was Skyhawk Gaming, we were citing earlier from Twitter, says, and as you yourself have said, there are no random Easter eggs, and yet in the source code leading up to the release of FNAF 4, 87 was everywhere. All of the art and stuff was like hinting at 87 being a key date, you know. But Scott, seriously though, you know, like you say that there are no random Easter
It's throwing me off how much MatPat is looking to his co-host.
Yeah.
It feels like he needs someone on his side.
He's trying to get anyone to have his back. It's like, it's okay. It's okay, Matt. You haven't even given the Pope Undertale by this point, I don't think.
This was pre
corruption
arc. Underpope.
Oh, hey, what's up, Clarence, and Tamunity, and Dilly, and Vivian, what's up?
As you yourself kind of...
I'm gonna go ahead and just say that it definitely does.
And yeah, I think we all agree at this point that FNAF 4 takes place in 1983, yet all of the pre-promo teaser, imagery, materials, hints...
This is a long clip.
Yeah.
This is a long clip for him to use.
Hinting at 87 and bite of 87.
MatPat believes that the 87 was implying that we would see the bite of 87 in this game.
87?
They also bring up the photos of Scott and his family to support this point.
Sad?
As how would that not be a random Easter egg in reference to everything else in the game?
You know, like that,
Sad! Oh my god!
Like, he's not gonna put like a picture of him and his family like that's like
is this how Scott and his family poses?
Well, I'm just saying like this is like a fun,
Yeah.
like,
Mr. and Mrs. Cawthon right here.
That
Holy shit,
business,
that's good cosplay.
To me, that's like him like setting you up for a roast. Like,
Yep.
Like that.
He's setting you up so he can knock you down.
Well, I'm not saying he's trying to like get you.
Why do they print stuff out? What? This is the
such a
weirdest
waste of
live
trees.
stream I've ever seen in my life. I like the idea that MatPat was such a pencil pusher that he was like, I need you guys to print these tweets out for me.
Is this was this before GT Live?
This is GT Live. You see the big hashtag GT Live in the back.
Oh, sorry, our face cams are covering up for me. That's my bad.
Oh, lol. Okay, yeah, fair.
Because I have the way I have the stream set up.
It was a red
It's
herring,
fine.
I think. It was a red herring, I think, to prep people for believing that was going to be the bite of 87.
Yep.
As sort of like a tactic to obscure the fact that actually
it was actually this other event that happened earlier in the franchise's history.
And by doing that, he made us think about it in that way.
Okay.
But like I'm saying, like if there's no Easter eggs in the game, right? The picture of him and his family in the hallway, if that's actually what it is.
Yeah.
If those pictures in the game
that's
are
a good
actually
point.
of him,
Yeah.
As it seems maybe is the case.
Yes.
I forget who was saying it.
I never. What the fuck? Did he start touching his beard?
I mean, to be fair, that's what I did the first time I saw Seth. I was like, oh
Sure,
shit,
I was
hey,
there.
hey, let me get that for you. Just rip the whole beard off.
I never thought about that, but yeah, that is a weird statement for him to make. That there was no Easter egg in FNAF 4, and yet we know that like there were pictures of him and his family.
Mm-hmm.
That what else is that? Is that a lore hint?
And then he did it again in Help Wanted, and we were like, "Is that a lore hint? What's happening?"
That is actually a lore hint, though. That's a lore
true.
drop. Oh my God, FNAF 4 takes place in the indie developer's house. It's
Holy
his kid.
shit, bro!
I think Daco was onto something about you know, if it's a picture of him and it's his voice as the phone guy, like that's the type of stuff that, like, if you're trying to solve the game, there's no information in the game that's not intentional. That's the type of stuff that you really need to be looking out for.
Yeah.
However, they also bring up how purple guy's holding the phone, and well, there being a purple phone in FNAF 4.
Random
Clearly
theory.
blue, but
Child from FNAF 4, same-sex.
Let's got a
couple,
purple phone.
Phone guy and purple guy are both his.
Wait,
gay
what?
dad theory. Holy shit!
Bro said, "Hello, internet. Welcome to gay theory."
Also, did we ever figure out? I just always thought that was like he just had like his hand was just like large for some reason. It was just like large.
No,
Is that like a wrench or something?
Yeah, I think it's just supposed to be some object he can mess with the animatronics with. But I don't think it's just a hand. That's a really fucking weird hand if it's a hand.
I mean, he's just like, come here.
Please.
Please, can I have
Freddy
some
Fazbear.
more? Can I have some more
Is that Freddy
horse?
Fazbear? Or. Alright.
Yeah, they're both his dads.
Maybe that's why he's a purple guy.
Maybe
What?
as
He's
What?
gay? What is
that
this?
thing. Or maybe purple guy and pink. I don't know. We're throwing. You know what? We're throwing out stuff because why not?
Okay.
Purple guy got
There's
some
evidence for both.
crippers.
Anyway,
Everybody said he was holding a phone. There's a purple phone in the dang house.
there is the purple phone
There's
in the house.
purple phone.
Right. So now you're just mixing it. You're mixing it up, right?
Like that's the kind of stuff that you got to really think about. Like
It is.
Yeah, this did not age well. What is seen in shadows is easily misunderstood in the mind of a child. It is also likely a response to this discussion as well, although I will admit it's not as direct as the other two. Lastly, 4 games, 1 story is a response to the discussion of FNAF 2 never existing. At 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 10 seconds, MatPat brings up an idea, one that he himself addresses as...
Again, this is completely off the wall.
He goes on to ask,
talked to you about
was
this
it possible
yesterday.
that FNAF 2 didn't actually happen? Going on to suggest that it might be possible that FNAF 2 is similar to how I viewed FNAF 4, taking place in the mind of a child.
Is it possible that FNAF 2 didn't actually happen?
And it was just, yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, is it possible?
Do you, Daco?
Yeah, no, is it possible
Do
that
you know what he
FNAF
means?
2, like, the main...
Daco actually, Scott told Daco that's exactly what the canon of the game was.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I know what that means.
Isn't it a little? I feel like it's a little weird how much treatment Daco gets. I'm not no disses to Daco or anything. It just he definitely seems like Scott's favorite of the FNAF 2.
He does.
Scott's playing favorites with Daco.
He hates MatPat. He loves Daco.
No, have you seen the FNAF show, like the FNAF show intro or whatever?
No.
That Daco does, where he has like every voice actor in the entire FNAF series record lines.
What the fuck? Bitch.
main game...
Can we get them on the FNAF Boys
Hey.
live stream, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah,
I think we gotta get it. What's up, Trav Shark? Welcome, buddy.
The animatronics, like, sliding across the screen, jumping out, all that stuff. Is it possible that similar to FNAF 4, which takes place inside the mind of a child, you know, is it possible that FNAF 2 also took place in the mind of a child? You know, maybe, again, this tortured boy who sees...
Oh, true. 8-Bit Ryan Core extension.
without her
True.
beat,
True. Scott loves them too because they're in the movie.
yeah, but not as much as Daco. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, because Daco's got the FNAF show. He did the Scott interview.
Yeah, he did get the Scott interview, though he had to earn it, if you remember.
True.
He had to earn that shit. I feel like as maybe a bit of criticism for JoeDoughBoy if they happen to watch this ever. It feels like we're seeing a lot of the clip. I don't think we need to see that much. I think you could summarize it and you could show maybe 2 sentences.
Like cut between clips, yeah.
Yeah, because right now it feels like I feel like we watched 10 minutes of the video. I feel like 4 of it has just been the GT live stream.
Who sees the toy animatronic.
Yeah, because it's like the first commentary channel, or not commentary video, at least we know about. So there's bound to be some stuff like that where
Yeah, I was just offering
finding footage. Yeah, finding footage.
I was also gonna say, I think Matt Pat's gonna be in the FNAF movie. He has to be.
Oh.
He's somewhere in there.
Him and Markiplier, I'm assuming they're both gonna be in it.
They're actually both. They're the two gay dads.
Oh yeah, the
about
purple guy and phone guy. Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
Also, I just realized I'm gonna put Springtrap right here. Springtrap's going right there, and Spider-Ham can go back here. Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, little Springtrap, little guy.
Little Springtrap. There we go.
All right, guys, I need you to sub to Michael so that I can get can you do subscriptions on YouTube? What do you do to get money? Donations?
Donations, memberships, or I mean, I do have the Patreon. That's mostly.
Okay, donate to Michael's Patreon, and in the message, can they leave a message for you? Buy Eric Funko, FNAF Funko Pops, okay? Because I need. It's an investment. It's an investment to the show, Michael. It's an investment.
it's investment for background props. I got you.
Exactly. I'm writing it off on my taxes.
Boy animatronic. He's mangled in pieces in a separate room in his home.
I do like that too, Dilly. That'd be very fun for the
I don't
movie.
like. Again, this is me theorizing out of the blue, just toss it. But my mind, when I hear or when I see Chica without her beak, and I hear Scott saying, you know, what exists in the mind of what you see in the shadows, what you know, could be like.
You have it printed out.
Is FNAF 2 just this hypothetical situation that this child is like conceived? And I hate going to the like, because one of the.
I feel like Matt hasn't gotten out a complete sentence at all.
Bro's getting out tangents at best.
Well, what Matt Pat's seeing right now, he's seeing the Twitter threads. To every sentence
oncoming Twitter threads.
He's responding to them all.
One of the things that we strive for on Game Theorists is when we create theories, not resorting to like, it's a coma, it's a second dimension. You know, I mean, sometimes it's warranted. Like our Pokemon theory about the second, you know, the multiverse, that was very warranted. Here, you know, and here in FNAF 4, I think it's also warranted. The dream.
Maybe they're unrelated though. Maybe because that's a huge pill to swallow.
It is a huge pill, and it completely upends.
Breaks like the kid would have to have knowledge of things that like no child like. Why would he know even about like how paychecks work?
But I mean, sure, maybe. But again, also think about the element of putting on a mask. You know, you have a child maybe putting on a mask, or you have the brother who has shown himself to regularly put on a mask.
That's true as well.
You know, again.
I think another aspect of Dream Theory as well is the fact that the brothers' jump scare sound is the same as FNAF 3's.
And also, Foxy when he's in the closet too. The Nightmare Foxy in the closet.
Yep. So I think that was a way of Scott sort of smuggling in the other details of the series to clue you in that maybe this is why they're all connected.
He essentially plants the seeds for what would eventually become Dream Theory at a later point. As if a direct response to this theory, Scott Games is updated with the final clue.
This is without having any time to really think through this stuff. My mind immediately jumps to there.
He's front loading so much.
I love Daco's revelations. He's like,
he said urethra.
What is it?
He said.
Oh, this is still from Scott?
Is this email?
No,
is this
from the website.
He's checking his email. Like,
oh my god, did Scott email me?
Oh my god, did Scott send out an emergency alert via the presidential text system?
He sent out an alert.
4 games, 1 story. I'm getting.
It's all the.
Hold on. Yeah, he said 4 games, 1 story. That's what he said.
4 games, 1 story.
Scott is using the worst orator possible for his. Why would you get someone with a British accent to say your stuff, Scott? It's gonna be hard to
get it because William Afton.
4 games, 1 story.
At least our games ain't a story gallery.
At least our pizzerias. Yeah. I wonder if Daco was in the running for Michael Afton. We'll never know.
1 story.
I mean,
Scott
we were
review
assuming
too.
that it was kind of 1 story. I mean,
it would seem in this context, Scott is trying to make clear that all games are connected and necessary to figure out.
You gotta
the
mock
full
the
story.
British people, Claire.
To summarize,
that's just how it works.
If there are no random Easter eggs in FNAF 4, why is 87 brought up during the teasing of the game, and why are there pictures of Scott's family in the FNAF 4 house? To which Scott answers indirectly with, in the FNAF 4 minigame, why is the tiny toy Chica missing her beak? Secondly, a clue, what is seen in shadows is misunderstood in the mind of a child, is not a direct
So
response
he's
to
just
anything
lying.
said after the previous clue was given.
He's just
He's
lying,
arguing that
saying
the 87. He's arguing that the 87 found in the older, in the old teaser trailers were trying to tie the game to FNAF 2 so that we would know that it's connected to FNAF 2, but that seems ridiculous to me. It seems much more likely that Scott just wanted the game to be put in 87 for a while and then decided at the end to make it 83 for whatever reason.
Yeah, I do feel like
Instead of being a follow-up,
the bite was supposed to be 87 originally. Why he decided to move it and make it not that? Who fucking
My
knows?
guess is to make it less predictable.
I guess, but then it's like you lose the predictability, I guess, but then it's like, okay, well, what did that actually do? Did that do anything for the story?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like those so one example I'll bring up is like when we first learned who William Afton was.
Mm-hmm.
Like MatPat made this whole reveal, like, I know who the killer is, William Afton. And everyone was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
who the fuck is William Afton?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's just one of those like pointless details. It's like, oh, it's an 83. Wow. What?
Yeah. What does that mean for us?
instead of being a follow-up discussion of red herrings and Easter eggs. What if FNAF 2 never existed? To which Scott answers with 4 games with a story.
He definitely could have been
implying
backed
that
into a corner. Sorry, Clarence says, I feel like they backed Scott into a corner and he just started spewing shit off the top of his head, which could have been the case, 100%. But it's like,
I don't know why the bite being an 87 would have changed anything is the problem, right?
Mhm.
Like, well, okay, sorry. If Clarence's comment is more so about Dream Theory, I agree 100%. The reason why Dream Theory happened is because Scott wanted to make another game, but he didn't know where to take the story, and it had gotten so complicated that he didn't know where to put another story. And so he decided to, I think, retcon the first 3 games as dreams. I think if 3 was received well, if there wasn't like the complaint of Springtrap's jump scare not being scary, Scott Cawthon would have let it go. But he felt like he had to make 4, and if you're making 4, you have to justify 1 through 3. So you make a. So I agree with him there that in that sense he was backed into a corner. But changing 87 to 83, nah. If it was the bite of 87, no one would have thought twice. Like, it still makes sense. Oh, he's dreaming after he got bit, which is why the FNAF 2 location is a completely different place, even though it's supposed to be the same year, and, you know, that kind of thing.
Regardless if they were a dream or not, each game is important to look at in order to understand the complete story.
The one sentence every
What a
FNAF
sentence.
fan
Now I
needs
know
to
this
hear.
one is going to be a hot topic, but
oh,
let me
I get
explain.
it.
The
I
Silver
get
Eyes
it.
was
Hot
originally released
dog.
before Sister
Oh.
Location, even being released before FNAF World. Because of
True.
this, we can
That's
assume that the original
crazy.
direction of the novel, or novels, was similar to the original story of FNAF for the retcon. This would explain a noticeable difference with its 2 sequels that would be the result of a deal made after the retcon. However, just as people are
Hey!
realizing
Kind of a bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
how
That's a
these
banger.
books are now,
Hey.
this one book was just
I think I know. I think I know what video we gotta check out next, Eric.
Hold on, I just want to
a
watch this
noticeable
again.
difference with its
That
2
thumbnail went
sequels that would be
crazy.
the result of a deal made after the retcon.
I just gotta see it
However,
again.
just as people are realizing how important these books are now, this one book
Crazy.
was just as important back when it was released. Scott's response to the confusion on how the book has seemingly nothing to do with the games was to not go into the book trying to solve the games using the book, as it was a reimagining of the previously complete story.
Okay, hold on.
MatPat just kind of ignored that sentence.
MatPat said, you know what?
I'm gonna
Fuck this guy.
fuck this guy.
Back
Fuck
when
this
it was
dude.
released, Scott's response to the confusion on how
I
the
just wanna
book
look at
has
this again.
seemingly nothing to do with the games was to not go into the
Something that I should have explained very early on is that the book is not intended to solve anything. It is not intended to be a guide for the games or to fill in gaps. The games are what they are. That story is finished. Okay. How are you going to justify that the book is canon when this statement exists in your own video?
Mhm.
That's what I'm interested in, because this seems to me like a very do not look at the book at all when trying to solve the original story of FNAF. He's quite literally saying, do not try to solve the game.
Because that's not what it's supposed to be. It's just a reimagining.
So I'm expecting JoeDoughBoy to have a good counter argument to what
he's gonna
Scott
clap back.
Cawthon said.
He's about to clap back for real.
Scott Cawthon doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Book trying the games using the book, as it was a reimagining of the previously complete story. However, Scott did state that despite the book and the story being separate continuities, they do share many familiar elements, going on to confirm that the book is canon, like the
Okay, they're not. So don't try to solve anything. Okay. Yeah, not intended to solve anything.
games, but that they're not intended to fit together and/or solve each other directly. Instead, this book is meant to share familiar themes, concepts, and characters from the games in an alternate universe.
God damn, why does he look so ugly?
I never liked the way he looked in the books. It always looked gross to me.
Yeah.
These similarities can then be used to understand
Bro's editing is impeccable.
the game's intended story better, while not directly solving it at the same time. Sound familiar?
Same? I don't need the definition for same to show up on screen, brother.
Scott Cawthon's nightmares.
Went from the fans' nightmares to Scott's nightmares.
The same could be said with FNAF World. Despite FNAF World never originally intending to be
It's very important for me to say this again. This will not be a Five Nights at Freddy's 5. The story is complete, and the Halloween update and new game will not add to it.
part of the lore, it
Well-
would go on to have this unexplained connection with the series that lived on even after the retcon. One that is often overlooked due to the common fan assumption that it was never canon, despite clear indication of some connection. However, the connection, much like the Silver Eyes, is used to strengthen the complete story of FNAF 1 through 4, rather than add a new chapter of lore. FNAF World and the Silver
I don't like that.
I don't
like
think
that.
that's true in the case of FNAF World.
I actually think it might be the case for World, but not Silver Eyes.
Really? Interesting.
Because for me, the damning thing is that literally in that post, he says, do not try to solve using the books. So if you're saying it's strengthening my case for the games, not really. Like, his whole point is don't try to use the books to make sense of the games.
Well, I think what he's saying, unless I just misinterpreted this, is that Silver Eyes and FNAF World, he's saying that they were made, or not that they were made for this, but they were made and they are strengthening. They were made to strengthen the what Scott had originally had in mind for the 4 games.
I get that. I'm just saying I think it's weird to say that when literally the post you're pulling from says do not use the books to solve the games.
Yeah, that's always gonna be a stain on this video.
That is for me because it probably is gonna go forward with it. But it's like, but if it is just the Silver Eyes strengthens the case, that's fine. You can still make your case without the Silver Eyes then. If you're not using the Silver Eyes to solve anything, if you're just using it to quote strengthen the case, then just I think it'll be fine. I can just listen to his case.
Yeah.
Excluding the Silver Eye stuff. But yeah. FNAF World, I think there's more of an argument to be made there because there was no such clear, like, do not try to use FNAF World to understand any of the previous stuff.
Yeah, the only thing was that he said it wasn't canon.
He said it wasn't FNAF 5.
No, he said there will not be a FNAF 5. Not that this isn't FNAF 5.
Let me check this real quick. We'll go back.
Yeah.
connection. However, the connection was like the solve the games using the book, as it was a reimagining of the previously completed elements.
We're not using it. We're not using a very precise.
Yeah, sorry guys, we're not like just watching the video. It's a little difficult, but
an assumption that it was never canon, despite clear indication of some connection. It would go on to have this unexplained connection with the series that
it was there.
Concepts and characters from the game.
That's for the book.
Universe. These similarities can then be used to understand the game's intended story better.
No, wait.
After the retcon.
Never mind. Fuck it. We're just gonna whatever. Who cares? Oh. Wait, what is going on?
Going too far forward, brother.
I don't think so.
There we go.
Other than add a new chapter of lore.
Okay.
FNAF World.
Here we are. We're back. We're so back.
Not necessary to figure out the story present in the FNAF 1 through 4 games. They exist to help us confirm it. Now that we're caught up with the surrounding context and mindset that went into this theory, we're ready to begin.
The show will begin momentarily.
Goated.
Everyone,
Goated.
please stand
Go to
in your
transition.
seats.
Let's go.
Good job.
This
dude.
is Forgotten Theory.
Ooh.
Forgotten theory.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I like it.
19
He's branding it. He's branding
It's
it.
branding.
Fredbear's Family Diner opens.
Where did you get that date from? That feels kind of pulled out the ass.
Yeah, apparently Michael O 2000 on Reddit.
We can assume it was 1982 specifically because Scott deliberately hid this date in the story.
I don't see a 1982 anywhere. Am I crazy?
Maybe he's gonna. Maybe he's talking about dates in general. He's hidden in source codes. For
Source
stuff.
code when he was teasing.
What?
Hold on. Let's just take a look back real
Hold
quick.
on.
Theory.
Let's just
1982, Fredbear's Family Diner opens. We can assume it was 1982 specifically because Scott deliberately hid this date in the story.
So was that
That was like a-
one before?
That was like a color code.
Was it?
Can we try to pause it and read that that Reddit post?
Theory.
Okay, yeah. Jamie.
1982, Fredbear's Family Diner opens. We can assume it was
Okay, important post for theorists. 1982 is an important date in the series, as implied by Scott. Still, some people who think that 1982 is not an important date in the series and that Scott never once referenced 1982. When referencing 1982, most theorists use the two codes that were hidden in the source code of Scott games during FNAF 4's development. The first code being 2093. I'm not 100% sure if this code was put in by Scott for lore importance, but he certainly put it in during the time of FNAF 4's development. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what they're saying is that the source code changed. That clearly there was a change that happened. Like, so it started out being 1E90FF, and then it became link equals 0, then became link equals 2093. So they're establishing that he is changing the source code.
Uh-huh.
It's not just a coincidence.
Okay. I wonder, where does the 111 come in? I guess that's what I'm most curious about.
Oh! It's if you move one letter back of each. If you move one letter back from one number back for each.
Oh.
1982 is 2093, but one number back. But where do we find? I just need to find where the
1982.
one.
Yeah, I don't get why they would do that.
Why would you go one back though?
Yeah.
specifically because Scott specifically
Okay, we
Yeah,
have
so
this.
This is the job.
This is showing us before,
because Scott
Yeah. The
is
script
the link
page.
before.
deliberately hid this.
and then this is the link after. I mean, something changed.
Yeah, it changed. I don't see why that's relevant though.
Yeah, I'm iffy on it, but at the end of the day, so long as it's open by 83, like.
I
this date in the
guess.
source
yeah.
code when he was teasing FNAF 4. One of these teasers in particular is theorized to have
You're going way too fast.
the name
Shut up,
Fredbear's
boy.
Family Diner
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
in it. Scott didn't change his mind about the date the bite took place. He knew what 87, 83, and 82 represented. 82 is when Fredbear's opened, 83 is the bite/missing children's incident,
Hey, what's
and
up, Max
87 is
Rebo?
the save
Welcome, buddy.
83 is the missing children's incident. Okay.
them incident/bite of 87.
Hey, Mark.
1983. After the success of Fredbear's, a sister location is opened titled Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. A young girl is
Okay.
kidnapped outside of Freddy's and killed.
So we're gonna get a jump scare. Jump scare in 3, 2, 1.
No, 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 no.
Don't do it.
No, don't do it, bro. No. Don't show the whole gameplay clip and then jump scare us, bro. Ah!
The killer is the
Appreciate that.
co-owner of Fredbear's
I'm dead.
and the friend of the father of the girl. We know the killer has a higher connection with the establishment due to brandishing a security badge and being aware of the safe rooms.
Well, sometimes having a security badge, sometimes not.
Yeah.
Apparently.
This
Having
would
it
explain why the girl would
occasionally.
trust him. This girl would go on to become the puppet and is the first victim of the missing children's incident.
Whoa.
That's a big claim to make.
Whoa. First victim of the missing children's incident. But the children, first of all, no. That is cap. Okay? I'm calling cap on that immediately. Hold on. I wish I could. Oh, this sucks for this video. Can I move back? Oh, I can.
Establishment due to brandishing a security
Okay,
badge
let's move
and
back
being
10
aware of the
seconds,
safe
so it's better
rooms.
than
This
guessing.
would explain why the girl would trust them. This girl would go on to become the puppet and is the first victim of the missing child.
So let's read this right now. 5 children are now linked to the incident at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza where a man dressed as a cartoon mascot lured them into a back room. She cannot be the missing children's incident.
Because that's not how she died at all.
Yeah, she was not lured in the back. She was locked outside of the fucking pizzeria. And then also,
shanked in a drive-by.
Yeah. And he was not in a cartoon mascot suit.
Definitely not.
I do not believe for a second that that's the first missing children's. She has to come before missing children's incident because in the Give Life minigame in FNAF 2, gives 4 children masks, and then the 5th one appears. That's Golden Freddy.
Right.
We know the 5 missing children. It's
not
Freddy,
her.
Chica, Bonnie,
Foxy, Golden Freddy.
Golden Freddy. It cannot be her.
Cannot be the puppet.
Already, that's a big swing and a miss for me. And like a... Oh, okay.
Children's incident. We can connect her to the MCI as she not only dies the same year, but dies at Freddy's and not Fredbear's.
How do you know that? Oh, I guess he's going off of the minigame. Where she dies outside of a establishment with a Freddy, which I'm okay with, but then why would you link her to the missing children's incident? If we're gonna go that literal, clearly she doesn't die in the minigame like the missing children incident report.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. It just feels weird to say it has to be at a Freddy's because the sprite in-game is Freddy, but ignore the method of killing, what the killer was wearing.
Yeah.
Like, that seems weird.
That seems very
We can
weird.
determine the establishment we see in Take Cake as Freddy's and not Fredbear's thanks to the visual design of the bear, along with Save Them being a parallel to this minigame. We can theorize Save Them as a parallel to Take Cake.
That's just proving our point. This is just gonna prove our point.
Primarily thanks to this minigame originally being triggered by being killed by the puppet.
I did not know about that.
Hey, that's really neat.
I did not know
The scenario in Save Them is rather similar to Take Cake, featuring Withered Freddy being directed to save the children in harm's way of the purple guy. Only
but do you see the massive difference there?
Yeah.
In what you just put up there? Save them versus save him. And what that tells me is that Scott was making an active decision to separate the puppet from the other victims. In terms of time and place. I just don't know how you get to puppet MCI. That's a wild one for me.
That is a very big Well, no, I don't know. No, he's saying that she was specifically tied to the missing children's incident cry. That's literally what he just said.
She was the first victim of the missing children's incident. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I guess it could be possible that he meant just the first victim, but then why wouldn't you just say the first victim? Unless you're just tossing in
of the
missing
purple guy,
children's
of the
incident
killer.
just because it makes you sound smarter when you know about the specific thing that happened that made the animatronic sentient or whatever.
I mean, is it a missing child? Probably.
Yeah,
but
I'm assuming she's missing now.
MCI.
The MCI is crazy.
This time, the puppet is there to guide the spirit instead of Freddy. Although, just like before, you can't. 5 more children being killed is another parallel, signifying the Take Cake minigame was a part of the MCI rather than being disconnected.
I don't know how you make that make sense. Who's the 6th kid then?
Well, no, Cry. When he said the MCI and he's talking about the missing kids, isn't it? He puts up the poster. Oh, whoops! I hit my bookshelf.
Yeah,
he put up
the poster in game
of the first missing children's incident.
I can sympathize with what he's trying to do as a theorist. We did this last night, actually. We dug into FNAF. Not last night, but a couple nights ago.
It was a few nights ago.
Me and Michael. Yeah, me and Michael dug into FNAF 2, and we found that there's a lot of like really weird stuff with the minigames if you take these all to be different events. Like the Foxy Go 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 minigame features 5 dead children. So does the Freddy Save Them minigame. And so does the Give Gifts Give Life minigame.
Yep.
But like is it like 15 kids? What what
yeah,
happened?
it,
Right,
it
is the
could be
question.
anywhere from 5 to 15 kids at that point that William had gotten to.
And so I can see what he's saying. I can see why he's so tempted to say these are all representing the same event in different ways. But it just seems like such a leap because Give Life has a fifth child. It's Golden Freddy.
Yeah.
There's 5 kids in the missing children incident, and in that minigame, the puppet is giving gifts to 5 children. It doesn't make sense for the puppet to be one of the 5. Yeah.
It's also worth noting that this is the only minigame not to feature a jump scare at the end. I theorize this is because it was meant to be shown which animatronic was connected to this minigame by how the minigame was originally triggered by the puppet. The siblings of the girl, a young boy and his older brother Mike, are in grief.
This goes. Oh sorry. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wait. Before we dig into that.
Yeah. That's
this gets into the weird part of theory crafting that we saw a lot with Security Breach. Can you use unused details in your theory? I would say probably not. If Scott intended for the puppet to kill in that minigame, and then decided not to do it, that seems like a pretty strong indication that the story changed.
Well, no, I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying that it's the minigame itself is triggered when you get killed by the puppet in game.
We show which animatronic was connected to this being disconnected.
Yeah.
It's also worth noting that this is the only minigame not to feature a jump scare at the end. I theorize this is because it was meant to be shown which animatronic was connected to this minigame by how the minigame was originally triggered by the puppet.
Triggered by the puppet.
Was originally triggered by the puppet.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because I think, let me check. Give.
Christ said, "Yikers!"
What minigames play after puppet jump scare? Because I just want to be sure. Is it like only the puppet jump scare? Like I didn't actually know they were.
I think. In in this code.
Sorry. No. It's that. I don't think it's that they get triggered by a jump scare from a certain character. I think it's that what he's saying is that originally this minigame was only going to be triggered by the puppet jump scare.
Oh.
And then later he decided to add the idea of like the jump scare happening after the minigame.
Oh, right. Because in the actual version of the game, it just happens like at the end of each night or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. I don't think it happens at the end. I think it's still a death minigame, but it's like he wanted an extra jump scare, I guess, or didn't want it to be locked to certain characters. But like, for me, the fact that wasn't then, if you're pointing to something that was originally going to happen and then it doesn't happen because of a design choice, that seems to me like the storyteller has decided to not go in that direction.
Right, they changed their mind.
Does that make sense?
In that way,
like if I point to like a file that says like puppet MCI, but that file is unused in the game and gets like is deleted. That's a pretty strong indication that Scott Cawthon maybe intended for it to be that way at one point in time, but decided against it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down for sure.
The siblings of the girl, a young boy and his older brother Mike.
So, the young boy and Mike are Henry's children in this theory, but we don't have a Henry name. We
don't even have. Oh, hey, what's up, Henry in the chat? Oh, what a timing. Henry, my boy, bro. That's crazy.
This is a wild screenshot. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah,
this is a wild screenshot. Yeah. Only in FNAF theories would this be like this image hurt. Let's see.
Whew.
Let's see.
Are in grief. We know this.
They're in.
Hold on. He actually might be spinning. I just thought about this. Because what's up with the girls' room?
Are you talking about in the? Are you talking about in the aspect of just FNAF 1 through 4?
No, in the FNAF 4 minigame sections, there's a girls' room that is completely empty.
Because that's supposed to be like Elizabeth's.
But remember, he's talking about the original story, FNAF 1 through 4.
Yeah. Oh, true.
When Scott said the game was finished, the story was finished. So what he's saying is there's this element of the game in FNAF 4, a sister's room,
right, that
is doing nothing.
It's just there.
Hold on, folks. What is it, JoeDoughBoy? JoeDoughBoy might be spitting right now.
Girl is a sister due to her be the twin.
Before we continue, sorry, Dumb Cop 09 says, fun fact, the reason that the technicians' bodies in sister location were so thin was because Funtime Foxy and Ballora tore out their insides and spread them across the floor.
I don't know if that's canon, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, if you have like a if you have like a source to back it up, I'm just kidding.
Twin at the bite victim. The twin at the bite victim.
Anything else you want to say in the chat or no?
Hi chat. Henry Hype. There we go. All right.
Explaining why their rooms both contain a color swap bed against the wall on the right with a color swap dresser with a light on the left. A supporting piece of evidence that isn't needed but confirms this belief is found in the Silver Eyes novel, detailing how Sammy and Charlie are twins.
Okay, we can discard that. I'm not gonna.
Mike takes it harder than the bite victim, choosing to take out his frustration on his brother.
He's gonna be hiding somewhere.
Oh, shout out is I think Daco was sick when this came out, like pretty badly sick.
I can hear him laughing.
I can hear him laughing.
Gonna be in my room. No, he's not. Oh, Jesus Christ! For God's sake!
In context of this theory, what the
What a
crying
lag,
child would have
bro.
seen was the killer putting the springlock suit on someone based on the Easter egg we see in the Night 2 minigame. This is answered by the clue: what is seen in shadows is easily misunderstood in the mind of a child. We know the scene of the killer putting the man in the suit is in the shadows because the killer is shown as purple here, and Scott confirmed the reason the killer is purple is because he's in the shadows. From this, we could assume that the bite victim is afraid of the suits and not the characters, since he considers his plush
Right. Yep.
Yep.
as his friend.
We were talking about that. We were
Possibly
talking about
forming
that during NPC. We remember that. I remember that. I remember
Kids
that.
shown in FNAF 4 are part of the MCI.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hold
okay,
on.
Bonnie. Okay, Bonnie connection.
Yeah. Yeah, that plush trap connection. And that's, I'm assuming,
That's
Balloon
a
Boy
connection.
behind. Oh, nope. That's
No.
Yeah,
That's Freddy. Bit of a stretch. Bit of a stretch, I think. I think the Chica makes sense because like the Chica is the one that's off,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that makes it. This is just color scheme, right? Orange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Orange, red, kind of. Yeah.
This is Bonnie because of the bunny.
Right. Right. And the blue
This
eyes.
is the weirdest one. I guess blue eyes, maybe
No.
Freddy.
I'm
That's
blue eyes, brown hair.
that's the biggest stretch
That's
in this
just
group.
yeah.
Just if they, because he could have just dressed him in brown, right? If they wanted him to.
Right.
Due to connections between them and the minigames.
None of these characters are in any of these minigames though. Besides, no, not even the balloon kid.
No, I think you might be talking about the kids. Wait? But I don't think the kids get their masks in these games. I don't think it reveals which one's connected to which.
No, they're all the regular
be
crying
all-
child
yeah.
sprite.
Yeah, I don't think you get. I might be wrong, but I don't think you get this sprite until Happiest Day.
Yeah.
This would be. I think it's to be a really compelling case if you saw that sprite at the end of this minigame, because then you go, "That's our balloon connection, right?"
Yeah.
Freddy in this minigame, balloons.
Mm-hmm.
This is also a stretch. Why is Foxy in the Golden Bonnie minigame?
Yeah, I definitely don't get that one. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's probably
Again,
just the
this is-
catch-all.
So what we're doing, and like obviously what we're doing is easier than constructing a theory. And I just want to like point that out. Like JoeDoughBoi's spent a long time, obviously a lot of research and a lot of good editing putting into this video. I'm not like shitting on him. It's just more so that like I think as a theorist, when you're wanting to get something done, when you want to release something, you can fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Or really anytime you're thinking about something, you could fill in the gaps to the conclusion you're already like coming to.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird connection. I need to see where this connection comes from.
In FNAF 3. Balloon Kid is Freddy. His balloon sharing a similar color to BB.
Hold on, he's about to spit.
Yeah, I was gonna say. We interrupted him
Same
before he
with
could
Child
spit
and
his
BB's
shit.
air adventure results in Freddy appearing in Happiest Day. The toy
Oh, can you? I just realized. But no, wait. No, you can't get Happiest Day without doing all the mini games.
Can you?
I don't think you
In
can.
the
That wouldn't make
Happiest-
sense. That
Yeah, it's only done when beating Night 5 with all 5 minigames completed.
yeah.
Sussy on this one.
No.
Chica girl is Chica, for obvious
That's
reasons.
fair.
Saving the child in Chica's party results in Chica appearing in Happiest Day.
Maybe
Yes, but
maybe
only if every other kid is saved as well.
I think maybe it lines up like you see Freddy Chica, you like see them first in that order, and then it matches the order of the mini games that you play. Maybe
we'll let him cook for a second.
Yeah.
The girl with the pigtails is Foxy. This is because she refers to being hidden in the back of Freddy's, which is where the child is seen in Stage 01. Saving the child in Stage 01 results in Foxy appearing in Happiest Day.
You keep saying that, but I'm not seeing that you can get Happiest Day. I'm looking right now to see if there's any.
Dumbcop09. We tagged JoeDoughBoy, the creator of this video, in the description. If you go to his channel, you could see it should be like one of the first videos that you see on the channel.
It'll be the first video you'll see on the channel. It's a very big video.
It's called what? Like we solved the
original story of FNAF.
Yeah.
It's a 5K special. And right now he's at 6K, which is like, I mean, that makes sense. This is a really good video. I'm not seeing.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing anything.
He might say it at the end. He might say it at the end.
Well, wait. We'll let him cook.
Let him cook for a little bit longer.
The Switch Kid is Bonnie. This is because the killer, Spring Bonnie, trapped them. They are trapped in a place you can't access initially. Saving the child in the glitch minigame results in Bonnie appearing in
Okay, but didn't the killer trap everyone?
Happiest Day. Another reason I believe it's these 4 kids specifically is because they were supposed to be at the party. Despite 2 of the kids never mentioning the party, we know that all the children were supposed to attend thanks to what Balloon Kid says. Everyone is going to the party. Yet we never see them there during the bite, unlike the kid who makes fun of the bite victim, who is clearly one of the bullies.
I didn't even notice that before.
This theory is the 4 plushies in the bite victim's room. 4 plushies that distinctly match visually with the 4 withered animatronics we see in FNAF.
Do they? Foxy's missing his head. Oh, that's the... Okay, never mind. I just realized. I'm an idiot. I'm a fraud.
I don't...
Foxy's missing his head in FNAF 4.
Yeah, wait. Chica doesn't even have her cupcake when she's withered Chica. This would match more for FNAF 1.
Yeah, but in canon, the FNAF 2 animatronics are supposed to be the FNAF 1 animatronics, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's
I'm not gonna rake him over the coals for that one. He's just saying that these look like the classic animatronics.
Okay,
and he's right.
Yeah.
I think.
Withered Chica don't even have hands. Good point, Dumbcop.
Though I'm a purple Bonnie stan. I'm a purple Bonnie. I know he's blue, but
I liked him better when he was purple.
Notice the buttons, specifically 2 like we see on Withered Bonnie and Freddy. Bonnie being more blue in tone, like Withered Bonnie. Foxy's head is missing.
True.
And Withered Foxy is noticeably missing a chunk of his...
Stop. You've lost. Stop. You know who else was missing a chunk of their head? Fucking Bonnie. His whole face was gone.
Why does Bonnie have a face here as a plush? And then it's...
Yeah, it's like that's a bit of a reach, and it actually ends up hurting your credibility, I think, as a speaker when you make too much of a case. What you could say is that while yes, Foxy isn't missing his head, that's because the brother's using the mask. I think most people can overlook that. Okay, Foxy would look like Foxy if he wasn't wearing.
Or if you even admit that it's not as strong of a case for Foxy, but there's still a little bit of correlation.
His head. It's interesting how there are 4 plushies and 4 children who are supposed to attend the party but never did.
That is a neat connection.
I never even realized that connection before either.
The party was for me. Is that's a later one.
That's a logbook thing, brother.
By the same killer behind his sister's death, the purple guy. This occurs in between the minigame that they are introduced and the minigame the bite takes place.
Wait.
Go back a second.
Let's go back. Let's listen to him cook.
Yeah.
The 4 children are murdered by the same killer behind his sister's death, the purple guy. This occurs in between the minigame that they are introduced and the minigame the bite takes place.
4 kids go missing in between night 3 and night 5?
How do you know that?
Yeah, that's
is it because
they
didn't show up? Okay.
Yeah. And everyone's going. I see where you're going with it. I do. I see where he's cooking. It's a neat concept. I think it runs into a little bit of an issue of if these kids are the children of an owner of the restaurant. I guess this is before anyone figures out that the children are missing.
I guess so.
Yeah, this would be. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Within a day, if he hit the body in the suits.
Wait. Forgotten Sons brings up a good point. How would the purple guy capture them if they weren't even at the establishment? You just kidnap them?
No. Yeah, I mean, I think the theory is just that they were hanging out at the establishment. But that's weird because the reason the crying child is because he's presumably the son of
one of the
owners.
Yeah.
Who are always there.
Yeah, Cry said someone maybe like Foxy's missing his head due to him being out of order, something like that. Yeah.
Even that. I just wouldn't go that far. I would just say that these are representative of the classic animatronics.
Mm-hmm. Or the whoa, Eric. There's that word again. The classic again, bro.
Yeah. Okay, bro. Okay, whatever. Anyway. I get where he's coming from. It's a neat thing, but that's a lot to swallow from an unseen thing in game. Let's see him cook.
Yeah. Explaining why they aren't present at the party. They are murdered at the sister location, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is where the withered animatronics are housed. Explaining why the phone guy hardly knows anything about Fredbear's, but recalls Foxy so vividly.
I love those old characters. Did you ever see Foxy the Pirate? Oh wait, Foxy. Oh yeah, Foxy.
Foxy.
I'm gonna try to contact the original restaurant owner. I think the name of the place was Fredbear's Family.
It'd be real quick. It'd be really nice to have subtitles because it can be hard to hear sometimes,
especially
with
for
the stuff.
Phone Guy,
Especially for theory crafting, because I want to know what details you're picking out of this dialogue specifically.
Yeah, if you make up different colored text or bold or something like that, it'll that would also help.
A piece of evidence supporting that Freddy's was where the MCI took place is the presence of 3 clouds in the FNAF 3 minigames, which 3 clouds can also be seen on stage.
Okay.
Kind of a weird place to jump to right after the phone guy thing, because I thought he was gonna talk more about that. I mean, I guess he technically is, but it's just going straight from the phone guy thing to the 3 clouds.
So he's arguing that the old animatronics were housed in the FNAF 2 location.
I don't think the FNAF. I don't think the FNAF 2 location necessarily. I think just a separate Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. That's like the spin-off of the Fredbear.
Yes. So is he just establishing that the FNAF 2 withered animatronics were operating animatronics before? Because I think everyone agrees with that.
I think that's what he was saying. Yeah.
A piece of evidence supporting that Freddy's was where
Yeah, and to be fair, the missing children's incident does have to happen there. Because that's how you get the 5 suits.
Right.
But weird thing here is, I guess he's going with. Wait. Hold on, I'm trying to think in my head real quick. He's trying to establish that the puppet is the first victim of the missing children's incident.
Yeah.
He points to the fact that the FNAF 4 house. Wait, sorry. Yeah. The puppet, and he says the puppet is the sister of
the crying child. Because in the FNAF 4 house, a girl's room is gone. And that's supposed to signal to us that they are grieving because they've lost. And I'm okay with that. I think that's a fair assumption to make. And then he's going on to say that the missing children's incident happens in between night 3 and 5 of FNAF 4's minigames. Oh, yeah.
If this puppet kid is one of the missing children's incident victims, they have to be at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza at the time of the event. But that makes no sense when you consider the family is always at Fredbear's Family Diner.
And the family's already grieving at this point.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to go out on a limb and say what they meant when they said first victim of missing children incident is they just meant first victim of William Afton, or in this theory, the purple guy, because we don't have that name yet.
Yeah. I think that's what Cry was trying to say too. And like I can roll with that.
Imprecise.
It's just it's just when you work. Yes, Cry. Yes. That's what you said. And we were saying that it could have been what you were saying, but when you word it in a specific way like that, it's not
Like if I say the crying child is the victim of the bite of 87, and you're like, no, it wasn't. That was 83, and I go, yeah. But what I meant was that it was like crushed by an animatronic.
Yeah.
It's like, you'd be like, well, don't say a specific event in the series that is very distinguished and show a screenshot of the detailing of that specific event. Yeah. Okay. Let's move forward.
The MCI took place is the presence of 3 clouds in the FNAF 3 minigames, which...
So what's weird about this to me is that you're saying the evidence... I'm just going to go back again. I'm just going to listen to this whole thing again.
Did you ever see Foxy the Pirate? Oh, wait, Foxy. Oh, yeah, Foxy.
Okay, so the FNAF 1 animatronics are being housed in a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The FNAF 2, I should say, Wizards.
A piece of evidence supporting that Freddy's was where the MCI took place is the presence of 3 clouds in the FNAF 3 minigame.
Okay, I don't think we need much evidence that the Freddy's is where it takes place. This is a weird thing to pull from.
Yeah.
Pull from Give Gifts, Give Life. That's the best example.
Games, which 3 clouds can also be seen on stage in FNAF 1. This can also be used to explain the difference in design between the Spring Bonnie and Spring Freddy and the ones we see at Fredbear's. The Spring Bonnie suit the killer uses is the one found at this location specifically. Each of them are given gifts.
So,
wait.
I'm so confused now. So you're saying there were Springlock suits at Freddy's, but they are different than Fredbear's, which, okay, I could see that they're like slightly different. And that the killer's using the one at Freddy's. But then is the killer the purple guy? Because purple guy is working at Fredbear's. Right? Because he shows the guy putting the costume on him.
Right.
But you're saying purple guy uses Freddy Fazbear's costume. So he's working at both locations, which is possible.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
again,
if it is, I mean, I guess we don't even know. Because I was gonna say if it is like an owner type person, then they would be hopping from location to location.
That's true.
But we haven't established that yet.
I don't think so, because Phone Guy in 1987 says that they're going to try to contact one of the original owners.
Oh yeah, which would
like
suggest
they've been gone
that.
For a while.
Yep, true. Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to send that to you. I meant to send that to Dilly. My bad. I just sent you a link to my Discord server.
I just saw a Discord. I was like, what?
You're like, what's going on, Michael?
Up into the withered animatronic suits by the puppet via Fred.
No, I need you to cook.
The Spring Bonnie suit the killer uses is the one found at this location specifically. Each of them are given gifts, stuffed into the withered animatronic suits, by the puppet, who is inhabited by the sister. The suits are the gifts. My reasoning is the file name for the animatronic parts in FNAF 3 is labeled as gift.
Are you going to note the fact that there was a 5th child there? You're going to note the fact there was a total of 6 animatronic spirits in that one. The puppet and then the 5 kids.
I know using file names is tricky. We have seen that file names can be reliable. Although the actual explanation is likely due to Scott reusing code from FNAF 2 Save the minigame for these cutscenes, seen by the remnants of puppet kill in the code. It should be noted that although Scott did remove other elements of the FNAF 2 variant, it's likely this is why the parts are called gift. However, I think the animatronic parts being titled gift is intentional. There are 2 reasons I think this.
I really don't. This feels weird to focus on.
Yeah.
Am I right? Or
yeah.
Especially when you say that when you note that it's also like not perfect, that like it's possible that he just wrote over another asset that was called gift.
Firstly, Scott uses other objects that are clearly copied, but he replaces the sprites with something that matches the title of the object. And second, Scott was easily able to create new objects for new sprites, which makes me think the sprite change was intentional. Because of this...
Fair, but I don't think that's a big deal.
That's just like a game dev thing. It's not even like...
Well,
it's not like a storytelling
thing to talk
thing,
about.
I guess, yeah.
But it's just weird to dedicate so much time when I'm so curious as to where the puppet dies of the theory.
Because of this detail and the gifts in Give Gifts, Give Life being represented as actual gifts, we can assume that the FNAF 2 minigames are more metaphorical rather than literal, explaining why there are 5 kids present in Foxy Go Go Go, and why the sister's death, who we established as part of the MCI, is separate.
why is the sister chilling outside of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza? If the sister died, why does the missing children incident happen between night 3 and night 4? Or, yeah, night 3 and night 5. If she was supposedly dead already in FNAF 4 and they're grieving. That's a massive hole.
Unless you want to say that she's been dead for a while, but she's still connected somehow to the missing children's incident.
But then also, where does Golden Freddy fit in all this?
Yeah, he hasn't talked about Golden Freddy once, and we're like a third of the way through the video.
Also, how does it connect to the puppet? Like, how does it possess the puppet?
If it's at the... yeah.
Because, no... Well, because... How does... My question is, if the spirits possess the animatronics, because they were placed there...
Yeah.
And you're saying she's the first victim of the MCI, so these kids all got grouped up and murdered, right?
Yeah.
Then she's like the first kid who dies in the group. She gets a magical puppet form, but she has to guide the spirits into their own forms in a physical suit. That's just weird.
Yeah, Forgotten Son says maybe she's waiting for someone. I it's possible. But,
outside of Freddy Fazbear's?
Yeah. In like, I mean, I guess we don't know. I mean, I would assume that it's not like in front of the fucking pizzeria.
Well, yeah, he's saying that this is metaphorical. So I think his theory is that this doesn't actually happen.
And it's just like a retelling of something.
Yeah, she's actually one of these kids still.
Interesting.
That's my guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, why is it
separated from the others? This is because Scott wanted to put more emphasis on who this child was, and which animatronic they were connected to, and why the kids are shown killed in the area besides Pirate's Cove. This is because the kids are grouped together to indicate the victim's side to the killer, explaining why this specific purple guy sprite is used here and in Save Him. It's also likely that MCI was shown...
I need to re-listen to that. Did you hear that?
You're gonna have to play it
This is
again.
because Scott wanted to put more emphasis on who this child was, and which animatronic they were connected to, and why the kids are shown killed in the area besides Pirate's Cove. This is because the kids are grouped together to indicate the victim's side to the killer, explaining
the victim's
tied to the killer. It's because they use the same purple guy sprite. That's what he's saying.
So he's saying that. So what he's saying is that the kids being grouped together isn't about them being led as a group. It's about them being killed by the same person.
That's strange.
I don't know if you're going to be able to show this on the stream. Let me just read the FNAF poster. Missing Children's.
Yeah.
Let me just read this out loud.
Yeah.
Because I want to see how he's interpreting it. 5 children are now linked to the incident at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where a man dressed as a cartoon mascot and lured them into a back room. See, I was thinking he might be cooking in that I was thinking he was saying that it says 5 children are led to a back room. It doesn't say all at the same time. Could be that this was happening multiple times, right? But no, it says to the incident.
Yeah. The singular
one-time occurrence.
incident. Yeah. So far, at least.
They had to be led by yeah.
Yeah. Cry is saying maybe she died on Crying Child's birthday the previous year because he established the pizzeria was open in 1982, so Crying Child's birthday is still a time that they grieve, making it one of the multiple MCIs. And the photo of the poster in FNAF 1 was just meant to represent the most notable MCI. He's just trying to guess that's what he means when he's talking about this.
As far as I understand, Fredbear's Family Diner was established to exist in 1982. He says that Freddy Fazbear's exists in 1983 because of Fredbear and Friends. 1982 was the date established of when Fredbear's Family Diner opened.
I don't like the idea at all that the puppet is the sister as well as the first, even though it hasn't happened until during the game, but the puppet is already giving gifts, giving life to the kids.
Like what Cry is arguing is that in order for this theory to work, Cry is arguing that there has to be a previous missing children's incident.
Yeah.
wherein presumably another group of kids were killed.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the one that
that's not the one that's
not the
happening
one
right now.
Yeah. And that to me is, I mean, if that's your theory, that's your theory. But to me, that is a massive stretch. And I don't know where it gets us to lore-wise. Why does it matter if the puppet is a missing children's incident victim?
Mm-hmm.
But furthermore, it creates bigger problems for this theory because this theory is arguing that a missing children's incident occurred in 1983. And if you're saying it happened in 1982 once, then in order for it to be a missing children incident, at least 2 kids have to die. And what are they possessing? You have the puppet and who? Because every other suit is taken up by someone.
No, yeah, Cry. We're not trying to like crucify you. I know you're just trying to understand. You're trying to be with us, trying to understand what Joe is saying. And it's difficult because he's putting himself in a position with a very, very particular argument that he's trying to make, but it doesn't seem like it's adding up personally.
Yeah, I would say that if that is what he's saying, it's possible.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to say I have the interpretation. Then my criticism to this theory would be that needs to be explained a lot more.
Yeah.
We need more time on that, and we could spend less time debating whether or not the gifts are suits. Because I think ultimately that doesn't matter, right? What matters is the kids get in the suits eventually. Whether the killer does it, whether the puppet does it, I don't think it really matters. But anyways, I think we've addressed that this point is one that we contend with, and we can move on with the theory, I think.
Yeah, I want to say one more thing from chat. Forgotten Sons is saying maybe they were killed on different days because think about it, they never specified the kids died on the same day. I think if they were, it would be multiple incidents at that point.
Yeah, the thing that gets me is it says the incident wherein, this is the actual quote. This is a quote. Oh shit, hold on, my history. Where is it? Don't leave me here. Okay. 5 children are now linked to the incident at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It is a singular event. That is not 5 children are now linked to Freddy Fazbear's or 5 children have vanished at a Freddy Fazbear's. Because you could get away with that. You could say, oh, they happen at different times, but all children are linked to this location. No, they're linked to an incident in the location wherein someone lured them in the back with a bunny suit. Or not a bunny suit, but with a suit.
A mascot
suit. Mascot suit. Yeah. That's very particular language.
Yeah, he could use the part 2 to explain like any criticism he receives or like what have you, you know.
Dude, what if we show up in part 2?
Dude, hey, part 2, hey. But yeah, we'll move on.
We'll let him cook.
Yeah, we'll let him cook for a little bit long. Oh man, like 40 more minutes, maybe.
And why this specific purple guy sprite is used here and in Save Him. It's also likely that MCI was shown in Foxy Go 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 as a red herring by Scott in correlation to Phone Guy mentioning how Foxy was his favorite.
It's so weird because you're saying like, I'm not going to go on a diatribe about this, but just recognize that theory crafting wise, you're saying that the sprites might be relevant, but that the 5 dead children are a red herring. Like,
yeah,
that you're playing fast and loose with what you're considering evidence and not evidence. And it seems like what's happening, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying what it can come across as is everything that might confirm my theory, I'll take, and everything that might dispel it, I'll say it's a red herring or it's,
favorite.
Like I said, he was always my favorite. They tried to remake Foxy, you know?
This would explain why in the news reports in FNAF 1, the missing children, 5 in total, are slowly tied to the event as shown by the
reportedly lured into a back room.
This is a different version of the poster. Yeah.
Yes, we talked about this too. Yes, it does seem to develop, but it should be noted that I feel like it's the fact that they called it the incident implies that it was one event. It is extremely common for news stories to develop like this, wherein 2 people go missing, and then we find out it's actually a group of 5,
right? Yeah.
Or a group of 10.
And that's another thing that we talked about when we were discussing stuff from FNAF 2
from previous games.
Yeah.
Detailing how 2 are connected to Freddy's at the time of the report. This would also explain Golden Freddy's.
Also, who's your 2? Because if Charlie's 1, who's the 2nd?
Right.
Inconsistent design.
Golden
As
Freddy.
a physical suit.
Oh, speaking of, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Golden? What's up, Gio?
Gift, as we put it, was never given to him. So he takes on a reflection of whichever Freddy is present, and is specifically golden because of his connection to the plush and Fredbear. It also explains why he appears at.
Hold
was
on.
never
We gotta let him cook a
detailing
little
how
more.
two are connected to Freddy's at the time of the report. This would also explain Golden Freddy's inconsistent design, as the physical suit, or gift as we put it, was never given to him. So he takes on a reflection of whichever Freddy is present, and is specifically golden because of his connection to the plush and Fredbear. It also explains why he appears after the other four, since the bite victim died sometime after them outside of Fredbear's in the hospital.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead. So he is saying, I think here he's saying the bite victim is
Golden Freddy.
Fredbear.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll move forward.
Yeah.
The killer is caught and convicted.
That was cool. That was kind of cool. Yeah.
However, it falls through due to the bodies never being found. This is because the puppet is the one that moved the bodies into the suits, which is why they end up secreting blood and mucus, forcing the place to shut down for sanitation violations at a later point, explaining why nobody thought to look in them, because evidence possibly pointed to the bodies being elsewhere. This explains why in FNAF 2...
I like that. It's a neat touch to say puppet stuffs in suits. That's why there's no physical evidence leading to the suits. The blood's everywhere else.
The bodies of the new victims are thrown around the location instead of stuffed in the suits, because the killer never did stuff the original kids in the suits to begin with.
He's kind of spinning.
Okay.
That's a good detail.
Okay.
It's a good detail.
Yeah.
Rather, it was the puppet who did so. As a result of the allegation...
Why didn't the puppet shove them in the toy animatronics? This is the toy. I mean, sorry, not to nitpick too much, but
Unless,
the toys right there.
yeah, I was gonna, hold on, yeah. Wait a minute. Why the original four?
And it seems to suggest that the second game does seem to suggest that the toy animatronics are possessed, because it says when they see an adult they just stare.
I don't know. I thought it was because of the system they had in the criminal database, because doesn't Phone Guy talk about that?
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't explain. He says that they're getting more aggressive as the night goes on. But
I mean, maybe it's because they saw William, because
possible
the location instead of stuff in the suits, because the killer never did stuff the original kids in the suits to begin with. Rather, it was the puppet who did so. As a result of the allegations, the purple guy is let go from his position. The birthday party held for the bite victim at Fredbear's.
His ass did not beat the allegations.
He did not beat the child murdering allegations.
Wait,
Whoops.
okay. Oh, well, what? We're gonna let him cook. Hold on.
Stuff the original kids in the suits to begin with. Rather, it was the puppet who did so. As a result of the allegations, the purple guy is let go from his position. The birthday party held for the bite victim at Fredbear's is the day after the 4 kids were murdered.
This is scary, because what has happened now is I actually don't know where in the timeline we are.
Yeah, he keeps kind of hopping around.
The FNAF 2 location opens in 1987. It is the grand opening. It cannot happen before the kid's birthday. That is impossible. I think this is just poor. I don't want to say poor. I think this is just a writing error in the video. I think you need to establish that little thing where he said, "Oh, he gets let go from the company." That happens in 87.
Yeah, that's years after this.
Yes, the missing children incident that happened before, the one where the puppet hides the bodies, that happens on night 4 of this game, or the mini games here, right? That's what he's arguing. And so the timeline is, killer kills kids on night 4. Night 5 is the birthday party. Reason the killer doesn't get let go for 3 years with the company and is in FNAF 2 is because the puppet hid the bodies originally.
Well, I mean, I guess how long did it take for them to find the bodies? I mean, it really shouldn't have taken them that long, because bodies rot fast. They rot and they smell terrible.
Well,
fast.
it was so bad that like they started emitting blood and mucus. So
yeah, and that's
you
like,
tell me.
Yeah, you're not really gonna have blood in a few years.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess what I'm getting at is like just. I'm okay. Like, I like his theory. I like the explanation for why FNAF 2's minigames are more gruesome in sense of like, he's leaving the bodies everywhere. It's because he never wanted to shove them into suits. That was never his goal.
Explaining why
But this is separate.
Place isn't shut down yet, as the children were murdered at the
They rot slower under certain conditions. Okay, interesting to know. But I
only
still
suspected as missing.
Yeah, sorry. We can keep going.
At the time, and why they're not present at the party. This leaves the bite victim open to his brothers and his friends' bullying, and ends up causing the death of the child due to Fredbear's bite.
Okay, we don't. I don't think we need to see. We know the scene.
No. Hold on. Let him cook.
Or why not get Markiplier to do this one? Why not get the footage from Mark? Was that the?
That was really
This
good. I thought for a
tragedy
second.
results in the closure of Fredbear's family diner. Mike apologizes to his brother on his deathbed. Before
Okay.
the boy
Oh,
dies,
yeah.
his sister appears to him as the most comforting thing to him, the Fredbear plushie. She tells him that she will put
The sister who just died last night, apparently.
him back together.
But also like a year ago.
But also he was grieving for a while.
It's a
connect the
long
Fredbear
night.
plush-
It's a long night, dude.
To the sister because of the Fredbear plush flower. The normal yellow flower has 6 petals, while the flower with the Fredbear head obscures the 6th petal, making it 5. I believe this establishes a connection with
Hey!
I don't know about that one.
No, actually, that's not the same sprite.
Yeah.
Those are different. Those petals are very different. But okay.
I mean, I guess it's cool. It feels like it's zooming in to one detail too closely
Yeah.
to me.
the 5 petals seen in the sister's room, explaining why certain Fredbear plushies don't have pupils before this. The ones with pupil are his sister watching him through the plush, while the ones without pupils before this had
Okay,
no
wait.
pupils because
Oh.
Because if the pupils are there before night 4, this doesn't make any sense.
You're right. We have to be missing something, right? That's
You
a
have
huge
to
issue.
you have to cite which ones are from which mini games. Also,
you're so right.
I need to piss real badly, but I had to get
I
that
think I do
out.
too. Do we have
Okay.
a break? Do we have like a break thing we can
I
do?
don't have a break thing. Shit. I'll make one really shitty really quick. Oh,
Okay,
well now you can't see
okay.
any of us because I'm in Streamlabs.
Based.
Shit. Okay.
We'll be
hold
right
on.
back.
Hold on. Let me. Oh God, I'm gonna do this real quick.
Oh, guys, it's time for a piss break. Okay, go take a piss.
Yeah, everyone,
get a nice beverage.
Take a piss. Get your popcorn
Take
ready.
5.
Take 5 nights.
Get your urine ready.
You know what? I'm just gonna play the stream starting soon. I need to get a new graphic for be right back stuff, but we'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, just everyone, take your pisses. Go get
Enjoy your
coffee.
pisses.
Yeah, enjoy your pisses. Enjoy your poops. Get some water. Get some popcorn. Get some snacks.
Go
and we'll see you guys.
Go sub to Joe Doughboy.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. All
We're
right,
back.
we're
Freshly
back,
pissed.
baby. I hope you
Pissy
guys.
Canal.
I hope you guys enjoyed your pisses as much as we did. Yeah, we're gonna hop back to it. Get back right into it.
Won't need it until 10. I'm letting my mom know I won't need her car until 10 because this stream is gonna run a little later than I expected. We're about halfway through and we got.
Yeah. I got some snacks. I'm ready to go, brother.
All right.
His sister watching him outside of the boy's imagination. A piece of supporting evidence not needed to solve this while also confirming this belief is the way the Fredbear plush is interpreted in FNAF world. The empty eyes of the void are the same as Fredbear's, and both appear in a black void like the eyeless Fredbear plush in the beginning of FNAF 4 appears in void. It's important that—
What is he saying is the difference between... Like, what is he saying is the difference between these two? Is one of them that it's possessed by the sister, and one of them is that it's not? Because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Why would it be the same? Or why would it not be the
Why
same?
is it speaking? Why is it speaking to him?
And also, the only time, how does he explain the font, the color change for the Fredbear text?
Despite having a different color, this is the same character due to context clues from dialogue with the line "I'm still here," referencing what they said before. "I am here with you."
I guess
Maybe. Maybe. I don't. That's it's iffy, but we can roll with it anyway.
To note that despite being a different color, it's the context that allows us to make the connections. After this, the bite victim dies, confirmed by the flatline heard as he fades away.
True.
The death of his brother ends up creating Nightmare, aka Shadow Freddy, as seen in the files of FNAF 4.
The death of whose brother?
Mike's brother.
Okay,
The crying
so
child.
Mike,
The crying child's death.
We're gonna go. So we're going Mike FNAF 4?
Mike
Okay.
FNAF 4 for like night 5 and or was it night 6? Night 6 and 7?
No, I mean presumably.
What's up, Rocky Gamer?
Maybe.
Welcome in.
We can come to the conclusion that Shadow Freddy is connected to the bite victim specifically because in every instance we see Golden Freddy, we see Shadow Freddy. Outside of the
Literally,
Where is the connection? I'm trying to again. I'm not trying to get us lost in the details here.
I think he's
Golden
talking
Freddy
about-
is connected.
I think he's talking about in the mini games, and also in the actual games, but not even close because there's no Shadow Freddy in FNAF 1.
Well, even disregarding that, I guess my issue is wait. So what are you saying the crying child is? Is the crying child Golden Freddy?
Or Shadow
Is the
Freddy?
crying child Golden Freddy and Shadow Freddy?
Or Nightmare?
Is also Nightmare. Weird.
first game due to Scott not playing the full story at the time. Nightmare Fredbear, Nightmare. With it Golden Freddy, Shadow Freddy. Therefore, Phantom Freddy is Golden Freddy, because Shadow Freddy is present. But if you need more...
Okay,
What?
he kind of spun that. No, he kind of spun that. I see that. Fredbear, Nightmare. And then Golden Freddy, Shadow Freddy. And then in FNAF 3, there's Phantom Freddy, and then there's also Shadow Freddy. So Phantom Freddy is probably Golden Freddy. These two characters always show up together. Except for FNAF 1.
Right.
But, it's probably because he didn't plan it.
Yeah, okay. We can go with it.
More proof, in FNAF 3's code, Phantom Freddy is referred to as Golden Freddy. He's also given a specific name, unlike RWQ. After the bite victim's death, the yellow spring-lock suits are retired and put in the safe room. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza continues to remain open before eventually shutting down due to sanitation violations once the animatronics start leaking blood and mucus. 1987. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza opens a new and improved location during the summer.
Hello and welcome to your new summer
this
job.
is FNAF 2.
The new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
With new toy animatronics made with parts of the old animatronics from Freddy's, creating a link between them. With that being said, I think I should address what happened exactly to the bodies that were stuffed into the suits. We don't see any hints of bodies in the withered animatronics, which means someone had to have found the remains that would cause blood and mucus to seep from the animatronics. If the line about the company retrofitting the animatronics wasn't enough evidence for you.
By now I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now. The idea at first was to repair them, They even started retrofitting them with some of the newer technology. But they were just so ugly, you know? And the smell.
Damn.
So the company decided to just go in a whole new direction and make them super kid-friendly.
Going off this excellent video here by Underscore, link in the description below, as it's a short video at just 2 minutes. I highly recommend watching it, as it addresses it much better than I am.
We would, however, we gotta leave. Okay.
Already pressed for time, and we're not even watching it through like YouTube.
Fazbear Entertainment would remove and dispose of the bodies after discovering them due to company policy, never reporting the children as dead and instead missing, inadvertently erasing evidence that could arrest the killer in favor of saving the company's reputation.
Okay, I thought the puppet was hiding them. But okay, they're being hidden in the bodies, and then the company is disposing of them. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read. It's kind of a legal thing, you know. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death has occurred, a missing person report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as
Hey!
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Kind of sick.
Blah, blah, blah.
Dope
This
connection.
explains why the killer would never be fully charged and what happened to the remains of the children. Props are also moved between locations, explaining the carousel. Shadow Freddy resides in parts and service because this is the safe room. Safe rooms are meant for retired equipment, explaining the arcade machines and spring lock suit.
Didn't the safe rooms not have cameras?
Yeah, and wouldn't it be labeled the safe room instead of the back rooms?
Hold on, FNAF 3. Safe rooms. I'm sorry. Can we look at that?
No,
I just want to make sure that I'm reading. FNAF 3 calls.
Yeah, they can't be located on cameras, and the animatronics don't know where they are. So then,
safe room.
Yeah.
Yep, not included in the digital map layout. This room is hidden to customers, invisible for animatronics, and is always off camera. This just isn't true, Joe. Joe, you lied. This can't be the case. It's on camera.
It's live.
But this also explains why the retired Wither animatronics reside in parts and service. The safe
It doesn't explain why it's on camera.
You just called it parts and service. You just called it parts and
room
service.
and parts and service.
Whoa, 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 wait a minute. Maybe he's cooking. Maybe we were the ones who were
Explaining the arcade machines and spring lock suit. But this also explains why the retired Wither animatronics reside in parts and service. The safe room is the second obscured room in parts and service. It's open because the safe rooms aren't boarded up just yet. This could also explain why the Withers leave parts and service once they reactivate during the night shift, because their code forbids them to enter the safe room when activated.
But then
this could also be why Shadow Freddy ends.
I thought Foxy was back. I thought Foxy was back there. Also,
Wait,
that's not like a separate room because there's no door there. It's just like a two-part room.
Well, we don't know. It's obscured by darkness, but then the statement that, oh, this is why Shadow Freddy is in the safe room. It's like, well, he's not. He's in parts and service that's connected to the safe room, but not the safe room. Because if he was in the safe room, we couldn't see him.
Also, I never realized that Freddy's in front of the follow me text until right now.
Rap battle editing.
Leading the animatronics to the safe room in FNAF 3, because he's aware that the purple guy is back because he resides in the safe room. Management
He's saying Shadow Freddy resides in the safe room. It comes to parts and service to say hello on camera.
Because he knows that the purple guy is in the safe room.
Purple guy's not in the safe room yet. He's just in the building. Maybe he's in the safe room. Maybe he is, but I mean, he's not spring trapped. He's not been.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's just like in there, I guess. But that.
Well, presumably that's where he lures kids. Is the safe rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
prevent a future tragedy through the inclusion of facial recognition software in the new toy animatronics.
Yes.
Fazbear Entertainment is committed to family fun and above all, safety. They've spent the small fortune on
I love
these
Scott
animatronics.
Cawthon's performance as
facial recognition, advanced mobility. They even let them walk around during the day. Isn't that neat? But most importantly, they're all tied into some kind of criminal database so they can detect a predator a mile away.
Having a criminal database to spot potential threats. The purple guy arrives at the new location and tampers with the facial recognition software in the new animatronics to sneak in, using the vague object he is seen holding. He uses the old spring Bonnie suit stored in the safe room, and 5 more children are killed, but none are stuffed in the suits, just left around the building.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I was talking about before.
side note though, try to avoid eye contact with any of the animatronic side if you can. Someone may have tampered with their facial recognition systems. We're not sure. Keep a close eye on things tonight, okay? From what I understand, the building is on lockdown. No one is allowed in or out, you know, especially concerning any previous employees. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in
The weird thing about that line always to me is previous employees.
Yeah, because William wouldn't be working at this point then.
Yeah, because the way that. Yeah, because
the way that he talks.
Unless
about
they
it, yeah.
fired him on the spot.
No, because that doesn't. Because the language he's using makes it seem like someone who was a part of the company at one point was fired a bit ago, and that might be coming back for whatever reason to tamper with the animatronics or otherwise.
Also, yeah, I mean, this is the thing that we talk about with FNAF 4 or in FNAF 2 in general. The weird part of night 5 saying the building is on lockdown, and then on night 6 saying,
"What are you doing here?"
Yeah, the place is closed. Someone used the spare suit, a yellow one, presuming that it sounds like they found the body.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make much sense, given that night 5 we're on lockdown. Is there a party for William to strike on the 6th day? Because he had to have killed on the 5th day before the building went on lockdown.
Right.
Otherwise, there would be no parties, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. You're right. Or any reason for a child to be around the pizzeria at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's iffy. This isn't the theory. It's just FNAF 2 in general is iffy.
The yellow one, someone used it. Now none of them are acting right.
Because of this, the collective negative emotions of this tragedy go on to form RWQ, aka Shadow Bonnie. The reason
I think RWQ is the type of character that you can throw fucking any explanation on.
Yeah, or just like avoid.
It literally, you could make it. It's the dark energy. It's the representation of Willie Mafton's sin. Like you can make it anything you want.
It's the night guard's stress.
It's so weird.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
The night guard's social anxiety.
It's a paranormal vision into the future.
Mm-hmm.
And the dark deeds that the Purple Man will do.
The Purple Man.
Which is why he doesn't show up in FNAF 1 or in FNAF 3. Because it's already happened.
The reason its name is so random is because it's not a soul or a person. It's just a physical manifestation of the tragedy. Also explaining why it takes on the appearance of the toy animatronics.
Is it physical? Because it floats.
It really doesn't, though. It doesn't. It's not. Yeah, it can't be physical. Also, it can't be the toy animatronics. I see why you're saying that because it looks like it, but the teeth are completely different.
The top teeth are. The bottom teeth are the same. I will say the bottom teeth are the same. The top teeth, and there's more teeth.
He's built like. And he's built like
Toy Bonnie.
Sure.
Yeah. Different teeth on the top, at least. But.
Despite being considered a cipher by many, cannot be deciphered using any evidence from the first 4 games alone, as well as the Silver Eyes and FNAF World. Believe me, I tried, but in doing so it proved that the name holds no meaning, as the ciphers thought to solve it would be impossible given how the ciphers work. The new location was also shut down for some time due to an investigation.
There's been somewhat of an investigation going on. We may end up having to close for a few days. I don't know. I want to emphasize, though, that it's really just a precaution. Fazbear Entertainment denies any wrongdoing.
See that shit? Yeah, that we have to do a stream on FNAF 2. Like that's
yeah.
That dialogue is so strange. I was kind of seeing the thing form there for a second. I was like, oh, maybe the facial recognition software got tampered with, and they're like, oh shit, like someone's gonna do something weird. We're gonna do an investigation. But then they say we deny all wrongdoing, which sounds like something has already happened.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be them trying to cover their ass for the future in case anything does come up.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it's
again,
important to note
it's
that
another FNAF 2 writing thing, you know.
An employer would do that. Like an employer would say we deny all wrongdoing, even if there's no wrongdoing that happened, like just because in case, yeah. But we should do a FNAF 2.
Cry says, I agree. Cry says, maybe a semi-physical entity. We can't interact with it, but it can interact with us for Shadow Bonnie. Could be.
Do we have any indication that it interacts with us? It crashes our game.
Yeah, which is like, akin to.
That's like meta. That's not even like.
I guess. I mean, because so does Golden Freddy after he jump scares you. I guess.
That's true.
But different.
But no one. I don't
Shadow
think
Bonnie.
I don't think people say that Golden Freddy's a physical entity. I think we all agree he's
metaphysical.
He's spiritual. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird to say semi-physical. That's a weird one.
Yeah. I don't think Shadow Bonnie is really too much of a character that we need to focus on in FNAF theories. Like,
I don't think it's too
in
important.
general. But yeah.
Sometimes. It'll all get sorted out.
Yeah, these things happen sometimes.
Yeah, wait, what do you mean? Is it? Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
He's talking about children going missing, not them getting murdered. I think that's what he's talking about there. Or it's the bite.
It's so hard because we have an untrustworthy narrator. It can't be the. Ooh.
The 87 bite.
Whoa. Bite on night 4.
Because
doesn't he say on night 5 a position just became available?
Because they were being tampered with, maybe it caused someone to bite someone. Right.
Bites them. Night 5, he says to the night guard, "We're gonna move you to the day shift. A position just became available." One of the day guards got bitten.
Yep.
Maybe we'll have to see if that lines up later, but yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat if that's true. And like the reason why they were able to stay open for a few more days is because it's an employee,
right?
Not a guest.
Right. Yep.
On lockdown, no one is allowed in or out. You know, especially concerning any previous employees.
There it is.
Hello. What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one.
Scott is voice acting his ass off, man. That is always the creepiest one to me.
Sorry.
Had a spare in the back.
Something, I don't know if this is just me being a video editor or whatnot. Maybe just get the actual clips that were like uploaded on their own of Phone Guy saying his spiel instead of having all of the other stuff going on in the background. Maybe have it like blurred out in the background while you have the text on screen too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might just be brainwashed by game theory, but
I think it's a good editing move in the future.
Yeah, that's just something that I was thinking about. Anyways.
And reopened, grand reopening in November. This is when Jeremy is hired, and before.
Whoa.
We might have to run that back a second. Hold on.
He's saying that FNAF 7 happens. There's a murder.
You mean Night 7, right?
1987.
Oh no, sorry. 1987. Yeah.
There's a murder that takes place. 5 or maybe 5, but maybe more children missing. It's another incident. Then it closes and opens in November.
That same
grand
fall.
Reopening.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense because it is weird that the phone guy says your summer job.
Yeah.
But then you have to acknowledge then that what we're playing through in FNAF 2 is
shit.
What we're playing through FNAF 2 is not chronological. That's what you'd have to concede that night 1, night 2, night 3, night 4, night 5 all happen. Night 6 and night 7 all happen months after the events that are being told to us on the phone, and that's cool. I've never actually heard that before.
I didn't even realize. So when I had originally, I think this might be the same for other people too. But when I associate FNAF 2 with the reopening, I did not think about reopening after an incident that occurred there. I thought of
opening after the original location.
We rebranded and now we're back as something else. That's actually a cool angle I did not think about.
Yeah.
Before we move any further, let's clear something up right off the bat that you might be thinking. These phone calls are meant for exposition, meaning not all events mentioned take place only during these 6 nights. We can prove this by how our shift begins in November, but the phone call on the first night mentions it being a summer job.
I mean, but to be fair, you could also consider that to be like a joke, that like he's reading off a script. But I mean, I'll concede that like that's really good evidence. That's really good.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Along with Phone Guy mentioning how the establishment has closed down already, and yet they're going to be open the next day for one more birthday.
What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift.
The reason the
Oh, no, that's the day shift.
Mangle is allowed to be taken apart and put back together by kids is because the animatronics don't harm the children, having a noticeable reaction to an adult's presence.
But the characters have been acting very unusual, almost aggressive towards the staff. They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just
stare.
The extra head and parts on Mangle are just
Mangle.
that, extra parts for Funtime Foxy thrown into the mix, explaining the extra eye present in Kids Code. The security guard, Jeremy Fitzgerald, is a victim of the bite of 87. This is because he was told to stay close to the animatronics, triggering Mangle to lash out at him to protect the children.
We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform. Stay close to the animatronics and make sure they don't hurt anyone, okay? But the characters have been acting very unusual, almost aggressive towards the staff.
That doesn't make any sense. These are not calls for you. Right?
What do you mean?
He's saying Jeremy Fitzgerald gets bitten, but that doesn't make any sense. Because he's saying that this takes place in the summer and then it reopens in fall. But Jeremy Fitzgerald gets his check in fall. So he can't be there at the establishment.
Right.
In the summer.
In the summer.
Or if he wasn't the bite victim. Because he's arguing that first week is like months ago.
Yeah. And is also Jeremy, after he gets bit, he comes back and gets his check. Yeah. And gets a check in November.
This is a weird one because he's like, I agree with him actually. That it's a really good point. Fall versus summer, but then you can't say Jeremy Fitzgerald's the bite victim because
it's
the bite
impossible.
Presumably happens. Yeah.
If what you're saying, if what you're presenting to us is factual, and you're saying that the bite happens in summer, then a character who isn't there until fall cannot be the bite victim. Or even if he was there in summer, he wouldn't be. I doubt he would be well enough to work ever again. First of all, if he's even still alive, but to come back and get more paychecks in the fall, unless. No, I don't want to say that.
Open the door. I have to go downstairs to open the door. Okay. You can talk to the stream for a little bit.
I'll vamp for a bit. Ugh. All right, so we're barely like halfway through this, and we're like 2 hours into the stream. Could have just picked up the check in fall because he was in the hospital. That's true. He could have, but at that point, I feel like the company would just, it could have probably been delivered to his house if, or given to like a family member or something like that. They would have probably talked to his, to one of his loved ones and given it to him before then. Could be. I see what you're saying, but I don't think it just doesn't make a lot of sense, you know, in the context of everything. Oh boy.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello. Cry was just saying, could have just picked up the check in the fall because he was in the hospital, and I was
no. The check is dated. The check is dated for November.
That I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about how they would have mailed it to him or given it to a family member or any other like kind of number of things before they would give it to him.
The check is dated for November.
Yeah, that too. I didn't even know about that.
That's when the check was filled out.
Fuck.
It's weird, but FNAF 2 is weird. We'll move on.
Yeah, true. FNAF 2 is weird.
They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just
stare.
He survived the attack despite losing his frontal lobe.
They used to be allowed to walk around during the day too. but then there was the bite of 87. Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, you know?
It's likely Mingle is the culprit behind the bite due to its jump scare animation,
I think
and the
that's fair.
odd influence from Golden Freddy. This influence is shown in the hallucinations/dreams for FNAF 2. In the cutscenes, we see the puppet watches over her brother and keeps peace with the animatronics. The line "It's me" being both from her and her brother. Although the brother's anger influence.
Wait a
what?
minute. No. No.
Wait, it's me is referring to two people?
You can't.
You can't do that.
No.
That feels like that's a massive detail. It's me is
Yeah.
very clearly supposed to be singular. It's not, it's us.
Yeah. And also,
We're
who are they
here.
fucking saying that to? Each other?
I mean,
Wait.
actually, that's kind of a dope idea.
Well-
I kind of like that. The idea that the puppet and Golden Freddy are like, it's me. They're like, oh, okay, we're both here. Gotcha, cool.
all present and accounted for. But if he's wait, can we go back a little bit? Because I missed the
Sure.
context for him showing this cutscene. Because if
I missed the
he's
context for
saying-
why he's talking about Mangle, and then
Is
suddenly
the culprit behind the bite due
the-
to its
the
jump
bite
scare
of 87.
animation, and the odd influence from Golden Freddy.
the odd influence from Golden Freddy, and then he proceeds to play a cutscene from the FNAF 1 location.
So the odd influence from Golden Freddy. I don't know what he means.
Yeah,
Is Golden
what-
Freddy influencing
What are you
Mangle?
talking
How do we know
about
this?
there?
Freddy. This influence is shown in the hallucinations/dreams for FNAF 2.
Okay.
In the cutscenes, we see the puppet watches over her brother and keeps peace with the animatronics.
No, this is FNAF 1.
brother?
This is many
This is
years
FNAF 1
later.
Freddy.
This is FNAF 1 Freddy, not Golden Freddy. This is many years later.
It's not many years later. This is many years in the past, right? This is the first location, presumably.
FNAF 1?
This to me, yeah. This to me, no, sorry. The FNAF 1 location, but pre 1987. This is the missing children's incident location. Remember we talked about that?
But FNAF 1 takes place like in the 90s.
Yeah, yes, but FNAF 1 in context. So just to refresh,
Yeah.
we have the Wizards
Right.
are the same animatronics as the FNAF 1 animatronics, right? Like bodily, physically,
like
they are, right?
Like the endoskeleton and programming and stuff like that. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah.
What I'm getting at is, at some point before FNAF 2, there was a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza with those animatronics. Then the missing children's incident happens at that restaurant.
Right. Yeah.
They close down,
Yes.
get a bigger location in 1987,
Right.
open up, that closes down, and then in 1993, you're operating this is the smaller location, because if you remember at the end of FNAF 2, you get that note from the CEO saying we're going to look at downsizing and reusing the old models.
Yeah,
And that's
but this is
so
the
when I'm-
future. This can't be the first location.
Why
Because
can't it be?
these are not the Wizards. These are not the clean. This is not the original Wizards.
Why?
at all.
How do you know that?
Because they look nothing alike.
I
They
think
have-
the Wizards,
they have-
I think
They have very different they have the very different felt parts, the very different headpieces, and the different
I agree
endoskeletons.
with you that from a physical design perspective, I agree, but I think the canon intention is that the FNAF 2 Wizards are withered versions of the animatronics we see in FNAF 1, but not like timeline wise, just like built wise. That when the Wizards were in pristine condition, they looked like the FNAF 1 animatronics. That's what I think that's
Okay.
what I think it's
Yeah.
supposed to be. I agree with you that physically they don't look like that, but I think that's what Scott's intending. Because you got to also think Scrap Trap is supposed to be Spring Trap.
Yeah,
but like
that's
physically completely different designs. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fair. That's fair.
The line "It's me" being both from her and her brother.
Also makes
Although
no
the
fucking
brother's
sense.
anger influences the animatronic's hostility.
I mean, this just seems like you're headcanoning. Where's your explanation
Yeah,
for why the
who
brother's
are they?
hostility
Who are they
is
saying this to? Because this cannot be the puppet. This is Freddy.
In contrast, the sister keeps them docile. This is shown by her appearance after Golden Freddy, where the animatronics calm down from Golden Freddy's presence.
Hold on, he's kind of spitting.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the thing. I have my problems with his theories, but there are a few times where I'll present the problem. We give him a couple minutes. He explains it.
And he cooks.
That's an interesting point. When the Freddy's in front of you, which is probably the golden Freddy, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's angry and looking at you, and then when the puppet's there, it's like a watchful hawk, and everything is calm.
Yeah.
So the idea that these are two forces, and it kind of plays into later in the series, right?
Right. True.
Taking FNAF 6 into perspective, right? Puppet is always motherly and caring, and Golden Freddy is
and then an ultimate custom night, and Golden Freddy is unable to let go because Golden Freddy's
angry.
fucking pissed off, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are
This is a neat-
examples of the new
But
withered animatronics.
however, I feel like those two. So the thing is, the puppet one comes first. In that order, it's Puppet and then Golden Freddy.
Sure.
I think what that represents is the moment after the puppet put a child into the suits.
Yes,
We'll just say that this is the first. That Freddy's the first one. Chica and Bonnie are not there yet. The souls are not inside them yet.
Oh.
But then, since Golden Freddy's there, that means all 5 of them, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy, are now all there. That's why they look at you, is because now they're there. That's just
an interesting counter theory. I agree.
That's
That's
what
a
I'm
compelling case. It's a compelling case.
Animatronics being influenced by the spirits of the MCI. Toy Chica is missing her beak. This is because the soul of the girl who had the broken toy was
What is this music?
part of the MCI
yeah.
and
I
became
was
Chica.
bumping to it, bro.
This also explains why Withered Chica has her arms out. The same little girl can be seen with her arms out. Finally answering the age-old question in the FNAF 4 minigame, why would the tiny Toy Chica be missing her beak? This hint
He
is
broke
also
character
the
for a
answer
second
for
there.
why 87 is
He broke character. He was
Brought
like,
up
why
the
would the
FNAF
Toy
4
Chica?
for teasers. It wasn't a red herring, nor was it Scott changing his mind about the date. It was a deliberate hint at how to solve FNAF 4. To go back to FNAF 2 and connect the dots seen between the MCI and the sister.
Dog, they even, dude, look at the, hold on.
Nor was it Scott changing his mind
Yeah,
about
the
the date.
icons look similar. Yep,
It was
yep,
a
yep.
deliberate hint at how to solve FNAF 4. To go
Look at that.
They're the only ones that look remotely
It's the same
similar.
gradient.
Yeah, it's the same gradient but flipped, literally.
He's kinda
go back to
cooking.
FNAF 2
He was kinda
and connect
cooking.
the dots seen between the MCI and the sister, explaining why when the only time Scott gave us hints at where to look, he pointed to a detail that could only be connected to FNAF 2, aka 1987. Balloon Boy is known for his iconic laughter. This is because the boy who became Freddy had a laugh with the same energy. Withered Foxy is able to see
Daco.
through the mask. This is because the girl who became Foxy was more aware about the rumors of what went on at
Hold on.
Okay. We're circling back now. We're circling back.
Also, I'll have to be considerably more quiet now because my mom is going to sleep, so I'm gonna have to.
Good night, Mrs. The Audible.
You're gonna get ASMR.
Freddy's and the others, aka she's just a little more big-brained than the others.
That's
With Bonnie
fact.
missing his left arm. This is because the kid who became Bonnie has her left arm obscured in the sprite. The theme that keeps the puppet at bay is titled My Grandfather's Clock, perhaps reminding the sister of the clock in her home. The sister also influences Mangle, seen by how the Mangle is taken apart and put back together, similar to how the Mangle toy is presented in the sister's room, along with Mangle being more aware about the purple guy's presence.
But
New animatronics are
so Mangle's just being controlled by the puppet then? That's what he's saying?
I guess.
Okay. Alright.
scrapped as a result of the bite of 87 and the establishment ends up closing. The safe rooms are issued to be boarded up after FNAF 2. This is due to budgetary circumstances as stated in the newspaper.
This is just to inform all employees that due to budget restrictions, safe rooms
Sorry, I just realized we hadn't even gone to FNAF 3 yet.
location.
To be fair, it is
The
last,
Withers are
so.
relocated to an appropriate, the original, location to be renovated later. They are slightly renovated with the old parts that were present at the location, explaining why they appear more on the Withered despite being the same animatronics. This also explains the buttons on Freddy and Bonnie, and why Shadow Freddy's sprite matches with Freddy's. They're the same type of animatronic. Purple Guy goes to the FNAF 1 location because the spring bodysuit is moved from the FNAF 2 location with the rest of the Withers to the FNAF 1 location. At the time, the restaurant was closed due to renovations. He goes there to get it once more and destroy the remaining animatronics, shown by how if you just take too long to follow Shadow Freddy,
Hold on, I didn't see.
the killer was responding.
Huh. Just says, Purple Guy will come out of the right side to ambush the player. However, the game never checks there's a wall to prevent this, leading to Purple Guy going
Disassembly.
object.
We know this is before FNAF 1 thanks to all the trash present. Boarded up bathrooms, leaky roof, rat infestation, and the...
Why would that tell you it's before FNAF 1?
Yeah, because usually that would tell you the opposite of what you just said.
Well, no, because he said basically, like, imagine, like, so if this happens... Well, yeah, wait, why are the animatronics in perfectly functioning order?
If the place is all run down and decrepit, yeah.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't cleaning up be the first thing you do before you repair the animatronics?
Yeah, this is an iffy one. This seems like it's after FNAF 1, not before FNAF 1.
Sanitary blood stains that litter the room. The black stains around the location are confirmed to be blood by their names in the files of FNAF 3. If we take into account the old location was left at a rock...
Wait a minute. Was that called the same thing in FNAF 2? Because those are reused blood. Those are reused sprites of the blood of the missing children. Not the missing children incident, but the kids who get like just left outside. You know what I'm talking about? Sprawled everywhere.
Yeah.
There's pools of blood. Is that just the name of the thing? Because he mentioned before how Gift was called the same thing. Is it just?
It might have just been a reused asset that's colored black now.
Yeah. Also, why is it called blood if it's like on tables? Is he murdering people on tables?
Yeah, that's a lot of blood on the tables for not murdering.
Also, who's he murdering before FNAF 1?
A third group of kids?
There's a fourth group. There's actually 5.
It's five.
This would explain why the safe room
missing children's incidents
was open, and the remnants, not that remnant, of the
I get it.
The safe room is open.
Were the safe rooms not boarded up in FNAF 2?
Wait, why is
names in the files of FNAF 3. If we take into account the old location was left at a rot, this would explain why the safe room is open, and the remnants, not that remnant, of the MCI remain.
Interesting.
If something is left to rot, would the safe room be open?
If they ditched it before they closed them up.
That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe. Yeah.
I have no idea.
We can also prove how the Purple Guy never shot the children in the suits, with bloodstains being present all around the building. Similar to how he had...
You think they just left the bloodstains there throughout... You're assuming, what, he killed people in 1983? According to your theory.
That's blood for at least, if not more than, like, what, 4, 5, 6 years? 4 or 5 years?
They're just not going to clean it up ever? I thought you said they filed a missing persons report. And the whole point is, like, we don't have to show the police stuff. We just we scrub the floors and say they're missing.
You sweep stuff under the rug.
So let me get this straight. Like, they're willing to dispose of the dead bodies in the suits to keep their reputation,
but not clean up the blood
all throughout the restaurant.
Place the body at the location and save them from FNAF 2.
And before anyone asks, no, I don't think Fazbear Entertainment left these stains here while they remained
open. Well.
Babe, okay, never mind, guys. Oh man, we're frauds. We're not even.
MCI. At least not the ones outside of the safe room. I think these stains are there to be looked at from a figurative lens.
Yeah, okay, that's
lens to connect pieces of info together. Because if we take the evidence we're given too literal or too figurative, then it doesn't work.
While the killer is hiding in the safe room, Shadow Freddy lures the animatronics one by one to the safe room to confront the killer.
Shadow Freddy is Golden Freddy.
We can assume this is the case because if Golden Freddy influences hostile behavior in the animatronics, it would make sense if his Shadow did the same. A piece of evidence supporting this is Phantom Freddy, who in this context of this theory would be Golden Freddy, whose mechanic is walking across the hallway.
Freddy!
That's kind of sick.
This all happens.
Yeah.
Not really though, because it's a Shadow Freddy saying "Follow me." And you think Phantom Freddy is Golden Freddy. So you're saying Shadow Freddy walks across the hallway, and that makes sense because Golden Freddy walks across the hallway. which makes sense, I guess, if they're connected, but it's not direct.
It's on the same night. We could assume this because it's continuously raining and each animatronic's parts still remain. If we take into account what we established before of Golden Freddy never possessing a real suit, it makes sense why the final child shows up immediately. This child confronts the purple guy for killing his friends. The killer is scared and runs from the child, before attempting to scare him with the springlock suit. However, in this moment of fear, he forgot about the state of the building and costume, falling victim to a springlock failure.
Really good, by the way. I actually never put that together. That's probably the spirit of Golden Freddy.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Oh, I love fan-made audio.
Shout out to fan-made audio.
Fuck off, Doc.
That's actually that's in FNAF 3.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Let's go. Thanks, Taco. Big preach for you, buddy. Big preach.
Bleeding out as the spirits are content for the time being. They cannot move on as the 4 children are still tied to their suits, and the crying child still seeks vengeance for his death. The bite victim leaves hints for Mike to find in the left hall. This is in the same hall.
Wait, did he just say Mike?
Okay. Well, what's weirding me out is
they cannot move on as the 4 children are still tied to their suits, and the crying child still seeks vengeance for his death.
Okay, so he's establishing the 4 children and the crying child, right?
The bite victim leaves hints.
Right.
The bite victim.
Wait, yeah, that's unless you're talking about 87 bite victim.
He means 87 bite victim. What do you mean? Why would the 87 bite victim care?
Wait, is he gonna say the 87 bite victim is
like a spirit?
Like Shadow Freddy or something?
No. Shadow Freddy has to be Golden Freddy.
No, I thought that they weren't the same character. They were 2 separate characters.
No. Golden Freddy and Shadow Freddy are linked.
Which wouldn't necessarily make them the same character then, if they're linked together.
Yeah. But what he's saying is that, like, I think he's saying that, like, Shadow Freddy is like a de facto Golden Freddy. Like they share the same will. They're both aggressive. They both
they're just like
trying
to split for
yeah, like one's
one's
a suit and one's
Oh, one's spiritual, one's physical. Gotcha.
No. Sorry, no. Actually, they're neither. Actually, both are spiritual. I think.
Yeah, neither both are here or there. Metaphysical.
Okay. He's saying the bite victim is setting these hints up, and I think I know where he's going with the theory. I'm actually interested in this one. The 1987 bite victim.
It's for Mike to find in the left hall. This is in the same hall where Golden Freddy can be triggered. Figured I'd state this, but this is due to the sister's influence in FNAF World.
Yeah, so what he's going to make the case for, I think, is that the sister in FNAF World, represented by Golden Freddy, which is already an issue.
Yeah. When the 83 bite victim becomes Golden Freddy, yeah.
Yeah, but the sister
right
is teaching the bite victim, 1987 bite victim, how to make everything work together. That's what he's going to say, and that we're setting up Happiest Day throughout FNAF World.
However, this does not determine when FNAF World takes place, as its place in the timeline is irrelevant, considering most of its content has little to do with actual lore. Much like
I'm just realizing the song that's playing in the background is "I'm Going to Come Find You."
In FNAF 2, I don't think FNAF World has a set date. I think it's mainly just there for exposition and extra context. I just want to make clear, though, that we can make the connection with these clues and the bite victim outside of FNAF.
Oh, no.
Different bite victim.
No.
I thought he was Golden Freddy.
He is Golden Freddy.
And I thought Golden
Shadow
Freddy was all aggressive. Was all aggro. Why would Golden Freddy want the Happiest Day? Why would Golden Freddy arrange their own Happiest Day? Why is in Happiest Day we play as the puppet, right? Doesn't it make more sense for this to be the sister? Leaving these hints here for the player to pick up on while they're following her brother?
Yep.
This is a weird turn.
FNAF World.
I just add this extra context as it makes it more clear to understand why the bite victim would leave these clues for Mike to find, despite wanting
Mike to
retribution
find
for his death.
He wants retribution for his death, but Happiest Day doesn't give you retribution.
No, yeah, that would be getting William and torturing him for eternity, a la what we originally thought Ultimate Custom Night was. Yeah.
Clearly, the puppet is a massive player in Happiest Day. It is the character you play as in that minigame.
Yep. To give them their happiest day. To do one
Fazbear
last
Entertainment
gift.
finds
One last gift. Sorry, go ahead.
That's just so wild to me. It's such a wild turn. Because I was kind of buying into it. I was like, okay, yeah, Golden Freddy is the aggressive spirit. So its approach is like a brute force approach. And the sister, the puppet, is supposed to be more understanding and sort of maternal. And so she's more focused on helping the spirits get over what has happened to them, helping them move on.
a dismantled animatronics and is forced.
But like he's arguing that Golden Freddy's doing that too.
Animatronics and is forced to completely overhaul them, explaining the difference in design from FNAF 2 to FNAF 1.
Okay, let's move back because I need to hear that
Despite
again.
wanting retribution for his death. Fazbear Entertainment finds the dismantled animatronics and is forced to completely overhaul them, explaining the difference.
What this doesn't explain to me.
So this is actually this is actual FNAF 2 to FNAF 1.
Yeah, he believes that this is happening in the interim between FNAF 2 and FNAF 1.
Okay.
Here's the issue. Right? FNAF if this takes place if the safe rooms. So he's saying the safe rooms were closed before the closing of the FNAF of the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Right? That's why we get the call. The safe rooms are going to be closed, right? And that because it was left to rot for so long, the safe room was opened up. Left opened, right?
Right.
The issue I have with that is that FNAF 3's phone call very specifically is pretty obvious that something is in the safe room that they do not want people to see. He says it's going to be closed immediately. If you left anything in there, it's your own fault.
Right.
Do not tell insurance representatives, friends, or family.
Yeah.
It's very clear they're trying to hide something. And so the idea that this is happening, they're hiding something. I don't know what they're hiding. They're hiding something for sure.
You're right. Right.
Is it Springtrap? I don't know. This has got me weird. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that for me, it seems pretty unlikely that this happens before FNAF 1. That we get all this stuff happening in the minigames. It's just it seems like a big stretch for me.
It's in design from FNAF 2 to FNAF 1. They also board up the safe room with the purple guy inside because by the time they find him, his bloodstains don't stand out from the ones
No. Sorry. Never mind. Keep going.
left by the MCI. Not paying much attention, or instead most likely not wanting the brand to get into any more controversy, Fazbear Entertainment boards it up, getting ready to try one last time with Freddy's.
So the safe rooms were never boarded up beforehand. That's what he's arguing. Okay. It's certainly possible. That they get boarded up right as FNAF 1 opens up.
Get boarded up because of this or something like that.
Yeah, okay. He's presenting a good case. It actually makes the most sense of the timeline. The idea that they close it up after FNAF 1 gets closed is weird because you have to assume something is being hidden in the Springtrap or something's being hidden in the safe rooms.
That's not William. Or Purple Guy.
Yeah, that's fair. He's got a good point. Never mind, I'm wrong.
1993.
We're editing that out of the video.
Mike gets a job at Freddy's, seemingly forgetting and repressing his trauma of his older experiences with the franchise. We know the year is 1993 thanks
He forgot?
to the paycheck, which is the amount of minimum wage an employee would usually be paid in 1993. Although a supporting piece of evidence not new to the solve this book confirms this belief, is found in the Silver Eyes novel. It states that the events happened 10 years after the
Sorry, whenever he does this whisper bit, I cannot understand him at all.
tragedy of the M Sky in the book, which lines up perfectly in this context. Because Mike has a connection to the children, being the sibling of the bite victim, the children try to remind Mike of who they are through the phrase, "It's me," appearing on the...
No. No, you can't
Everyone's
do that.
it's me, dude. Everyone's saying it's me. Everyone. It's me, it's everyone.
In this case, it makes the most sense for it to say it's us. Even more than before.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I listen.
Let's keep going.
It's
Let's Universal.
By it's me, I mean it. Who could say, you know?
Yeah.
The out of order sign, flashing with hallucination shown on the mic, and shown on the wall where posters of the crying child can be seen. The image of Freddy ripping his head off is meant to hint the Mike as to what to do. Mike is fully reminded only when the yellow bear appears, the animatronic that caused the death of his brother. Mike ends up following the clues his brother and sister had left for him and attempts to put them to rest. Unfortunately, before he can make any real progress, he is fired for tampering with the animatronics and his odor. That odor is a result of digging into the suits. As we know, the animatronics have a stinky, fumey.
The animatronic characters here do get a bit quirky at night, but do I blame them? No.
That line.
There he is. There he said it. He said it.
Songs for 20 years.
And I never got a bath.
I'd probably be a bit irritable at night too.
After being fired
The
from
one
Freddy's,
time
I
there's
believe this is
subtitles, by the way, for
when
FNAF
FNAF 4 takes place. The line connected to the box in FNAF 4, perhaps some things are best left forgotten for now, are seen in a similar gray color as the older brother.
Ooh. Okay. He actually forgot. He literally forgot.
Interesting.
You repressed those memories. That's really cool.
Lines, despite being white in the files. The file the text resides in was given a semi-transparent effect in the files. This is because the text was an image rather than a string of text explaining the slightly different gray color.
Right.
Because of this effect, this line is intended to be seen in gray rather than white. Therefore, it isn't necessarily that the text being the same color that's important and connects it, but rather the context of the lines and its similar intent. FNAF 4's marketing is also a supporting piece of evidence. The nightmares are asking a question as if somebody had forgotten. Was it me? Or was it me? I believe this could explain the night sections of FNAF 4 are the nightmares of Mike after FNAF 1, explaining why FNAF...
Why they act the same and all that.
Right.
Why is he a little kid, though?
Well, because he was when it happened, probably.
He wasn't, though. He was a teenager.
Was he? Do we know?
He was very clearly Michael Afton in FNAF 4?
I guess he was older, but I guess it's not like he wasn't like 16 or 17. I'm assuming.
That's the vibe I got. I mean, he's certainly not this young. Hold on.
Yeah, no, I do agree, but
The FNAF 4 are the nightmares.
Like, bro, he's coming up to the doorknob.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
there's probably some. He's probably gonna say it's some kind of like psychological reason why he's imagining himself.
I mean, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible that he's a child, right? Yeah. Like he's envisioning himself smaller than everything.
Right,
yeah,
because he's afraid.
possible. Yeah, sure.
Of Mike after FNAF 1, explaining why FNAF 4 takes elements from FNAF 1 and twisting them while also
Just
being
like you were
clearly a
saying.
dream/nightmare. The phone, the desk fan, the reverse phone guy call.
Is that what happens when you click on the phone, or when does that happen in the game?
I think I do not know.
Even
'Cause that's
Chica
not the-
rustling in the chicken.
Because it's not the.
It's not nightmare.
That's not the nightmare thing. Yeah, no.
Hey, this is Future Joe. Just want to let you know I meant kitchen!
There's this odd Easter egg in the game where you're
Okay,
able to
Joe.
summon Nightmare
That's
Foxy
cool. You're
every
cool
night
enough.
No, you're
just
good.
by looking at the bed for 15 seconds without looking anywhere else.
He'll also be force spawned
Oh?
after looking at the bed for 15 seconds without running somewhere.
Since Scott said he didn't add a bunch
Oh.
of random Easter eggs, and this seems
Huh.
deliberately intended, I believe this is a parallel to Foxy's mechanic from FNAF 1.
Yep.
AKA not paying attention results in him coming.
Where if you don't look at the cameras at all, he will still jump scare you. Yeah.
Well,
That's.
hey. Look at
I
that.
didn't know about that. That's a pretty cool parallel.
Yeah. You know what's funny is the thing he's saying about the Easter eggs thing.
Mhm.
It actually does carry a lot of significance. If FNAF 4 was made with no Easter eggs in mind, the fact that they mirror the FNAF 1.
No random Easter eggs. Should clarify.
Yeah. The fact that FNAF 1's gameplay is matched by FNAF 4, that's pretty strong.
That is really strong. Yeah.
Because that means that that connection is more than just a wink. That's supposed to have some story relevance. Now, Dream Theory would work just as well here, right? Like the kid is not, FNAF 1 is just another nightmare. That's why
it's less of a wink, more of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Sort of a deal, yeah.
Yeah. I actually got it. What the? Notice how the nightmares look more like the Withers in shape compared to the classics. Bonnie.
Ooh, hey, classics. If that is your real name.
That is who you are.
Also, nice ultimate custom night render. Also,
Which
wait,
one?
yeah. Oh, this no, the Freddy Fazbear, regular Freddy.
This was really funny.
Because I think this Wither Freddy one comes from World, doesn't it?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
From the fucking Foxy thing, right? Foxy.exe.
Foxy.exe.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. I agree that there's a design element here that's similar. I'll agree that.
Yeah, there's the same like blocky weathering effect.
I would even. I mean, you can't pull it up on stream, unfortunately. But do you know the FNAF 2 poster I'm thinking of?
Hold
on.
I mean, I can. I mean, if you put it in the Discord, I can. It'll just be. It might be a little bit weird.
Hold on. Wait. What do you mean?
Oh, I mean, like, if you like copy and paste it into the chat, I can. Like,
yeah, I
pull
got
it
you.
up
I copy and pasted it.
Oh, sweet. Here, let me just do this, and I'll zoom in. Oh, unless my keyboard doesn't work. Hold on, guys. Sorry, it's going dark for just a second. Come on, go do the thing. Nope, not that. Nope, not that at all. Don't do that. Stop. Stop it. Okay. Yes, I'm seeing this now.
So you're seeing the two side by side?
Yes.
Like you could see, right? Like I'm totally bought in on this whole thing of like FNAF 2 and FNAF 4 were made with design similarities in mind, because I mean, just look at that.
Yeah.
I mean those two teasers look like they're mirror images of each other. They have a very similar vibe. The red tint, the tipping of the hat, they're like looking on opposite ends. The number in the corner of what game it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll just move on here. I agree.
Bonnie's whiskers, Chica's beak, Freddy mimicking his pose from the FNAF 2 teaser, and Foxy's single.
You could have just said Chica having the two sets of
mini teeth.
Yeah, a lot of teeth. A lot of teeth on Chica. But I guess they
Mike
both
is
have
meant
two
to be
sets of teeth, so anyways.
Having nightmares because of FNAF 1, then why don't they look more like the classics? They take on the FNAF 2 designs because Mike is seeing the MCI kids and his brother as animatronics.
Huh? What?
Mike is meant to be having nightmares because of FNAF 1, then why don't they look more like the classics? They take on the FNAF 2 designs because Mike is seeing the MCI kids and his brother as animatronics, explaining why they resemble the FNAF 2 Withers because those are the original suits they were stuffed in. And Nightmare Fredbear has a stomach mouth because he bit his brother. So it can be explained that FNAF 1 simply brought back his traumatic childhood, and that is manifesting in his dreams. The classics, while indeed murderous and are definitely scaring Mike in a sense, are still nowhere near compared to the era of FNAF where he accidentally killed his brother. So that's what he associates most with his nightmares.
Okay. I can kind of see what he's playing at.
I can see what he's cooking.
Yeah.
He does not have Mike at the FNAF 2 location though.
Right. Yeah.
Which is why it's especially weird if he's seeing them as withered animatronics. He does not have Mike, as far as I understand, placed anywhere in FNAF 2.
No, yeah, he hasn't
So
talked about
I don't
Mike.
know why he's
he
saying
didn't talk
withered.
about Mike until like a ways into the video.
Right now.
Yeah.
The idea that the nightmares bring up Mike's trauma could also explain the vague hospital hints appearing, as if someone is remembering visiting the hospital. We also know that the older brother did visit the bi victim in the hospital, apologizing to him in the process.
Good points.
This would
Valid
also
points.
explain why in Nightmare's
Even
jump
though-
scare, you can hear the slight
Even though apparently that's supposed to be the sister talking to him through Psychic Fredbear. But you know.
Well, Mike is also talking to him.
Oh, it's a walkie-talkie. Everyone can use him.
No.
That's what yes, I know. That's what the kid is seeing Freddy and imagining Freddy, but it's the brother talking to him.
Well, the brother is saying, "Can you hear me?" Like he's apologizing, and then you get the sister talking, presumably under the
brother did visit the body victim in the hospital.
The sister's spirit talking.
Apologizing to him in the process. This would also explain why in Nightmare's jump scare, you can hear the slightest hint of an ambulance sirens.
Here we go, ready?
Take a listen here.
Yep. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I can kind of hear that. I can kind of hear that.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
That's a cool detail. That's a cool detail.
The reason the grandfather clock is present in the first 3 FNAF games is because it could possibly be Golden Freddy causing the guards to hear it as a reminder of his past.
It could be.
Yeah.
Golden Freddy, who is the sister or who is the brother?
Yeah, because you have the picture of him on the clock, which is apparently when the sister was controlling him. Instead of being represented by the crying child because he's not dead at the point of the screenshot.
Weird.
But the alarm clock is present in FNAF 4 because Mike isn't working at Freddy's anymore due to being fired. And also
Wait, whoa.
He was fired at the end of FNAF 1. Let's remember here.
Is that what he said?
Well, canonically,
Mike
Schmidt is fired at the end of FNAF 1.
Schmidt, I suppose. Yes.
And he's saying that he believes Michael Afton worked as Mike Schmidt because he's having these nightmares about FNAF 1. So he had to have worked there.
Mm.
And he's saying that the reason why he's getting alarm clocks is because he's not working at a Freddy Fazbear's
Right.
at that time. He's at his house.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's fired.
Okay.
It's a fair enough justification, I think.
Okay.
Also because he's waking up from a nightmare. This implies that despite Golden Freddy appearing, the idea that he influences the other animatronics, and that explains why they become hostile, supports the idea that chimes come as a reminder of his past thanks to his presence being felt, even if it doesn't appear like he's there at first. I believe this answer...
There's a lot of words.
Yeah, and I'm getting to the point where brain rot is starting to ensue. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, 100%. But we're gonna keep pushing.
This is why the chimes appear in FNAF 2 when Mike is nowhere to be seen. Although there is a connection.
It's a really good point. That actually makes no sense. If Mike is not in FNAF 2, why is Jeremy Fitzgerald hearing chimes? Is Golden Freddy trying to remind him of his past?
What did Jeremy do? Except apparently get bitten last summer and then going back to.
Jeremy actually is the Bonnie bully.
Oh yeah. After what he
Fred
did,
Smith, so I'll present 2 possibilities here. Custom Night is not canon. My reason being that
But then you point. Oh.
Wait, when do we get the Mike Schmidt pink slip?
Is it at the end of 7?
It's got to be, right?
Or is it the end of 6?
It's a good question. What do you get at the end of night 7? FNAF?
Also, I won't lie to you. I'm gonna have to go piss again in a second here.
Yep, that's where we get our pink slip.
Yep.
From.
Hey Seth. Seth said yeah, end of 7 or 6 for sure. Yeah. So
it's the end of 7. So
yeah.
why are you using using night 7 for?
And not even right now.
Part of the
not even just right now, but also earlier too when he was talking about Shadow Freddy stuff and the back rooms.
The back room.
The back rooms. The back rooms.
Okay. It just seems weird that you're saying night 7 isn't canon
after immediately showing the pink
evidence.
slip from night 7.
Night 7. Yeah, that's your only proof that Mike Schmidt ever gets fired.
Yeah. Also, Eric, if you look on your camera, oh, never mind. I have our like things like I have our cameras like half cut off on the side. There were two like things being reflected behind you. It looked like Freddy's eyes from FNAF 1. But as I like move the thing over, I see there's more of them. So I was like, ah, damn, never mind.
Yeah.
Anyways,
do you need to go piss?
I do need to go piss actually.
Okay, go piss.
So if you want to entertain the stream, I will be right back.
Stream, how are we feeling tonight? You know, I'll be honest with you. I wanted to get out of here around 9.
Did not happen.
Did not happen. What can I say? You know, it's one of those things where you get the FNAF theorizing. We didn't know how bulky this theory was going to be. We assumed it was going to be pretty bulky, but everything is subject to different commentary and stuff. So it's going to probably last. Who knows? I do think it'd be fun if we came here and like it was perfectly agreed to and everything. I pulled the chat up now in case any of you guys want to talk or anything. Oh, I'm dying on screen. Okay, cool. I think right now my biggest issue with this theory is it feels like it's telling a broader story that's really interesting, but a lot of the connective pieces aren't hitting for me. So like I still don't think we've made good connections between the sister and the little Fredbear plush. I don't understand how the little sister being a part of the MCI is relevant at all, or why there seems to be multiple MCIs. I don't see how FNAF 2 originally taking place over the course of a summer, closing, reopening when we play FNAF 2, like it's like when we play it, it's the reopening of that location. I don't see how any of that is relevant to the theory that's being presented. Right now, what I'm seeing is the storyline is like the storyline is that Michael Afton is having night. This isn't very consumable because this whole thing is supposed to be an alternative to Dream Theory. I don't know why you need all these parts for it to be an alternative to Dream Theory, right? I don't know. It's just rough.
And just like that, I'm back.
We are back. Okay. Let's finish this one out.
Shadow Freddy is specifically not able to be summoned on this night. This would also explain why someone is hired to work after Jeremy even though the restaurant closed. Although it is important to keep in mind that FNAF 2 was rushed, and Shadow Freddy not being in custom night.
I'm having such a hard time following this.
No,
night.
yeah.
This would
Sorry, what's up, UCN Fredbear?
Although
we're
there is a
reacting to
connection
this
with
video,
Smith, so I'll present
just
two
kinda going through to see
possibilities
what's
here.
going on.
Custom Night is not canon. My reason being that Shadow Freddy is specifically not able to be summoned on this night. This would also explain why someone is hired to work after Jeremy even though the restaurant closed.
Okay.
Although it is important to keep in mind that FNAF 2 was rushed, and Shadow Freddy not being in custom night could be an oversight by Scott considering the main mechanic behind the character was also bugged. To learn more about that, check out this excellent video by It's Taken, link in the description.
The second is that Fritz Smith is the killer under a new alias. Now, while this is supported by how William becomes Dave in the books, there is evidence in the games to confirm this parallel. The two separate purple guy sprites could show how the killer's appearance changed over time, the company not recognizing him as a result. Therefore, the badge on the killer symbolizes how he becomes a guard at that location, as the other sprite does not have a badge despite us knowing he had access to things only employees / higher up would. And while Mike does get fired for very similar reasons, I believe this is another red herring, as Mike is also fired with time and the added
I mean, it's just you need to be very careful about what you call a red herring.
Yeah.
Also, if Night 7, I mean, he's saying Night 7 is canon in this theory. So he presented two
So
theories.
he's
One,
saying,
Night 7 wasn't canon.
Mm-hmm.
Two, maybe Night 7 is canon, but Fritz Smith is William Afton.
Yeah, and then he wrote off Shadow Freddy not being in there because of because the game was rushed. You could say that about literally anything, though. You know what I mean? You could but you could say that about a lot of things.
To be fair, he was saying that about a counter. It was a counter to his first theory, because his first theory said, "Hey, maybe Night 7 isn't canon because Shadow Freddy isn't even there."
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, "Well, it's possible that it was intended to be canon. It's just that Shadow Freddy didn't show up because of a glitch."
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think it's fine to bring that up as a counter to one theory, but I just don't know what we're waffling about at this point. You know what I mean?
What is Blood waffling about? That's a good question.
While Fritz isn't literally being fired on his first day. Here, the odor and tampering are under a different context. The killer dismantles the animatronics, something he carries out when going to Freddy's in FNAF 3, possibly explaining the box of FNAF 2 parts being in similar condition to the dismantled animatronic parts. And the
Okay.
The odor is due to bro's poor hygiene?
Ultimately, Mike decides that his trauma should stay forgotten, at least for now, having to wait until 30 years later when FNAF 3 takes place to tackle his trauma once more. 2023. Mike decides to work at Fazbear Frights due to finding out real parts from the original locations are present, deciding now is the time to finally confront his past trauma and put his brother and their friends to rest after it's brought up again.
And his sister.
But if we don't have the logbook to confirm Mike is the guard in FNAF 3, how do we know it's Mike? The answer to this is the phone dude calls. It confirms Mike had worked an extra night previously, showing interest in remaining despite no real interest being apparent by phone dude's remark of,
Hey, glad you came back for another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time.
The reason nothing happens on the first night reinforces this theory as well. You're forced to stay while nothing seemingly interesting happens. You can only do one thing, and that's interact with the BB drawing to begin the path for the good ending, pointing towards Mike's reasoning for remaining at Fazbear's Frights. We can
That's a possible reason.
I guess,
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ride on. We know this is Michael the older brother because the character stayed an extra night. Seems like a bit of a stretch.
Because I'll be real with you.
Mike. We can also prove
if I you're good. If I started working at a job and there was nothing to do on the first night, that's easy money. Why wouldn't I stay for more?
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah.
But yeah.
the guard is Mike due to the line in the newspaper stating, "This new attraction is guaranteed to bring back your childhood in the worst possible way." When we look at this with the context of this theory, it establishes a tie between the night guard and Mike, as well as a whole new meaning on a seemingly innocent comment.
I mean, yeah, that's a neat thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a neat
Phone dude calls also support the idea that the safe room was boarded up after FNAF 2. The phone dude says on night 1 of FNAF 3, "We found some great new relics over the weekend."
We found some great new relics over the weekend, and we're out tracking down a new lead right now.
These relics are the FNAF 1 animatronics. That's why we never see them fully put together in FNAF 3.
Wait, no.
No, they're not.
Because
Freddy's in there since night 1.
Yeah, they've been there since night 1. All of them have.
Or Freddy has. I don't know about Bon. Oh yeah.
Foxy's head's there. Chica's head's there. They've all been there the whole time.
Now let me tell you about what's new. We found another set of drawings. Always nice.
He literally
Foxy
he tells you what they found.
head, which we.
Oh wait.
Is that really not in the first? Wow. Okay, hold on. Blood is.
No, I guess this is on the first night. I thought he was saying it was on the second night.
Oh, same. My bad.
Yeah, that's our bad.
Then again, it might just be another crappy cop play.
It literally says in the same call that they found the Foxy head, so we know for a fact that it's FNAF 1's location that they're getting these from. The people running Fazbear's Frights had no idea the safe room even existed. In no way does he mention the safe room at all on night 1. On night 1, the phone dude also says that they're trying to track down a good lead right now, which could very well be the CEO or someone high on the food chain at Fazbear Entertainment, between nights 1 and 2.
We found some great new relics over the weekend, and we're out tracking down a new lead right now.
They get into contact with said individual, and they tell them about the safe room.
We're trying to track down a good lead right now. Some guy who helped design one of the buildings says it was like an extra room that got boarded up, or something like that. So we're gonna...
Whether or not they know about the killer being in there is not relevant. That's why it isn't until night 2 Springtrap is mentioned, and present in the attraction.
But I have an even better surprise for you.
We found
You're not
one.
gonna believe
A
this.
real
We
one.
found one. A real one.
When Springtrap arrives at the location, Mike is forced to relive his trauma head-on in the form of the Phantom/minigames. Isn't it odd that Phantom Chica appears in the arcade cabinet, and that the Shadow Cupcakes leads to the Chica minigame? And we know that the Phantoms are in the mind of the Night Guard based on the teaser for the game. I think the Phantoms represent trauma. Phantom Foxy represents Mike's trauma. Phantom Freddy represents Bite Victim's trauma. Phantom Mangle and Phantom Puppet both represent the sister's trauma.
I mean, I'm kind of
like maybe.
It's weird to say that. It's weird to say the Phantoms are all in Michael's mind, but they represent the trauma of other people.
Yeah, because then it's like,
but I think he's
which
I think
is
he's
it?
moving to the meta narrative now. I think he moved from the
Yeah.
narrative to the meta narrative very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying Scott's trying to tell us through these animatronics.
The large puppet in Mangle's quest, taken with the context of FNAF 4 Sister's room having a broken Mangle toy, implies that the sister goes on to become the puppet. Notice how Phantom Puppet and Mangle both watch you instead of jump scaring you, just staring at you.
Interesting.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat parallel.
As if
Yeah,
they're
and they
looking at
both
someone
play. They both play loud ass sounds too.
recognize. Phantom BB represents the loss of innocence with the 3 siblings.
Yeah.
Okay, it's starting to sound.
Yeah.
It's starting to sound like bro didn't know where to put BB.
BB was the catch-all.
Yeah. BB represents man's inhumanity to man.
He represents self versus self narratives.
The 3 BBs in the tree represent 3 siblings connected by a family tree.
This is we always do this, where he says something that's so out of left field that we're like, ha, 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 what an idiot, and then he immediately follows up with him cooking, and we're like,
yeah, true. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good explanation, interpretation of this. I mean, is this a tree though?
Could be.
Could be, but also could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
Could be balloons.
Mike, the bite victim, and the puppet. Each of them are seen crying due to the trauma they have experienced. Phantom Chica represents the trauma of the 4 missing children.
Hold up, let him cook.
Wait,
but bite victim's there too. And also, isn't the puppet supposed to be the bite victim?
The first victim of the missing children?
Victim of the missing children's incident, and the bite victim is nowhere near this?
Not the bite victim. It's the puppet is the first victim.
Right.
And the bite victim, yeah, has nothing to do with this.
Why is the bite victim? Okay.
Let him cook.
And the bite victim. The
5 kids. Did he just say the 5 kids and the bite victim?
No,
Mike, the bite victim, and the puppet. Each of them are seen crying due to the trauma they have experienced. Phantom Chica represents the trauma of the 4 missing children and the bite victim.
There are 5 missing children. But
the 5 cupcakes in Chica's party represent the 4 missing kids, and the bite victim who is following Mike.
There's 5 missing kids.
Well, it's because the puppet's already accounted for with the puppet and Mangle. But apparently you can also loop in the bite victim there as well, because why not?
We know this is a reference to them due to the golden and pink cupcake drawing Easter egg.
He just keeps cooking. That would explain golden cupcake.
I guess.
Drawings are connected to the Phantoms due to using them to access minigames, and the appearance of Spring Bonnie, who sports the same design seen in Stage 01. Mike is also forced to confront the murder of his sister and all the other children, who lives on in agony. Again, not that agony. We can assume the killer is in agony during FNAF 3 because of the rare screens, which show Springtrap attempting to escape his suit. It was also theorized that a certain audio in FNAF 3 is actually Springtrap moaning in pain for help.
Not dissing him for this. I don't know.
Though fun fact, this is actually the as alpaca noises used by Scott slowed down. In this context, the idea that Springtrap lives on while the others finally rest makes more sense. He is forced to suffer, trapped in the suit he used to make others suffer greatly. A fire breaks out due to faulty wiring, burning down Fazbear's frights.
So, let me just update you real quick, then you can get to work. Like, the attraction opens in like a week, so we have to make sure everything works and nothing catches on fire. So in trying to make the place feel vintage, we may have overdone it a bit. Some of this equipment is barely functional. I wasn't joking about.
Some of this equipment is barely functional.
I still love Scott Cawthon's phone, dude.
Hey, what's
Is that
up,
Scott
Aussie girl? I think it is. I think it's supposed to be. Yeah.
But like, it just
the fire. That's a real risk.
It's a real risk.
I wasn't kidding about the fire.
That's so funny.
The heat purges all the suffering from the building, while the fire heals the character of Mike as he sets all the children free.
This is dope.
I believe Mike lives on in a bittersweet moment, as the name of the song during the good ending is titled Don't Go. This is also most likely the case, as no death is reported alongside the fire.
It's true.
Mike is finally free of his trauma, and is able to move on, signifying the end of Five Nights at Freddy's. 4 games, 1 story. At least the original story, before the retcon.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'd like a summary.
Yeah.
There was a lot there. It was very dense.
There was a lot.
I feel like there were some tangents that we didn't need to go on.
We still. How much time do we have left in this? Like 15 minutes?
10.
10 minutes. Okay, we could do this. Do you still want to look through?
I would like to wrap up.
Sorry. Do you still want to look through the comments a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
This video by explaining some small questions that might arise from this theory. To explain, Endo02, JJ, the Mike sprite, the pictures of Scott's family in FNAF 4, who the phone guy is, what the Springlock failures phone guy refers to are, and Plushtrap are not important. This is because they're more simple than they appear and don't offer or take away much from the overall story.
Mike isn't even
just for fun,
a real thing.
I'll try to explain them anyway.
It's never used in the game. That sprite called Mike is never used in the game, so don't talk about it.
I believe the Endo-2 Easter egg was included simply for the sake of showing off the endoskeleton model Scott made. Because if you think about it, Scott showed off Endo-01 in FNAF 1, being present even in the game's marketing. I theorized one of the reasons Nightmare is see-through was so Scott could show off the Nightmare endoskeleton he made.
What?
And he would eventually show off the Plushtrap Endo in FNAF World due to the quote-unquote character quota. I think Bro just really likes his robots.
I think it's stupid.
What is this? That's sick. Look at that shit.
Yeah, this is cool, but I think that reasoning is stupid, personally. Also,
I think it's fine.
Dumb. Dumb.
What?
Dumb.
Dumb always.
Dumb always. Fredzilla. True.
I think Endo 2 is not it's a whatever. Who cares?
No.
Like, seriously, JJ is a simple Easter egg. It is
Oh, bro, imagine if I got away with that. My FNAF theory. This is just an Easter egg.
You know what? The bite victim, just an Easter egg.
Be symbolism for the twins, although I decided to leave that up for interpretation at this moment.
I think it's fine. I mean, I don't think JJ's a big deal.
I know there's a lot of interest and mystery behind this Mike sprite, so let me explain it real quick. This sprite is used for a marker, seemingly tied to the character Mike. You can tell it's just a sprite for the marker thanks to its size being identical to the others. However, unlike the other markers present, this one does not have an AI counter of its own, meaning it doesn't appear and affects nothing in the final game. With this context, we can assume it's just a drop feature like the toxic meter and puppet in The Office. After all, Scott doesn't seem to remove anything unused in his games. I believe the inclusion of images of Scott's family being used in FNAF 4 was the filler.
Okay. I swear to God, if he's gonna say just an Easter egg.
About the images around the house, aka set dressing, and not an intentional Easter egg on Scott's part. It's like Scott.
He kind of said that there's no random Easter eggs, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's again, I don't think it's incredibly important detail. That could just be pictures of the family. Who cares?
Yeah, it's just pictures of the
family. Scott being canon in the series Scott being canon in the series before it was popularized and helped Wanted. People just took it too literally, and overthink something that's not meant to be taken seriously compared to everything else. We do actually know somewhat who the phone guy is. He's clearly just a lifelong employee of the company, most likely part of management for Fazbear Entertainment.
Management has also been made aware that the Spring Bonnie animatronic has been noticeably moved.
Hey.
Would like to remind employees that this costume is not safe to wear under any circumstances. Management also requests that this room not be mentioned to family, friends, or insurance representatives. Thanks again. Remember to smile. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's.
Yeah, that's...
The first guy finished his week, but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift.
We switched him. He's very clearly. He's
talking about management too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always theorized that he's upper management.
So while our engineers don't really have an explanation for this, the staff literally had to put Foxy back together into every shift.
Yeah.
I think the employees refer to them as just the mangle. That whatever is going on out there,
has nothing to do with us.
Has nothing to do with our establishment.
Our establishment.
It can't be Fritz because Fritz is fired on the first day, which would contrast Phone Guy being a part of management.
And also, he worked there for 1 day. Why the fuck would you even talk about him being Fritz?
One.
He's there in three. He's there in 3 games. Why would you?
Okay. Let's see. First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read. It's kind of a legal thing, you know. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Springtrap.
God damn it, bro.
That killed me. The one badonk.
Failures mentioned in FNAF 3 are meant to foreshadow the purple guy's death, explaining what's going on with our Springtrap friend here and why it's mentioned the night before we see who resides in Springtrap.
Right now we have 2 specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suit. So please pay close attention while learning how to operate these suits, as accidents, /injuries, /deaths, /irreparable and grotesque maiming can occur. There's been a slight change of company policy concerning use of the suit.
Hello?
Don't. Management is also been made aware that the
So
Spring Bonnie
good.
animatronic
Just playing Phone Guy's greatest hits right now.
would like to remind employees
Banger the
that
banger.
the costume is not safe to wear under any circumstances.
I know some people like to connect this to the Fredbear bite, which I can see, until you realize that the animatronics are in, well, animatronic mode.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not spring locked.
Meaning their spring locks can't come loose if they aren't wound in the first place. And Plush Trap was created for the minigame. Nothing more, nothing less. That leaves one thing, of course. The biggest mystery left for God.
Because Plush Trap is literally what that one child is holding in the minigame.
Yeah, but should be noted that we don't know if that's like the same design. It seems like it could be a nightmare thing.
He says that the child says that it works like a Chinese,
like a finger trap.
It's like a finger trap. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure that kid says. Let me see. Plush Trap kid dialogue. Oh yeah. He says, "Where's your plush toy? Mine is Spring Bonnie. My daddy says I have to be careful with him or I'll pinch my finger. He's a finger trap," he says. That's what the dad said to the kid.
That's what the dad says. It's not an official. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's not Scott Cawthon approved.
Forgotten. What was in the box?
Oh.
The
box.
To be completely honest, I don't think I could know or answer what
That's really funny.
whatever was intended to be inside it 100% correctly. Although with the context of this theory, I can provide a possible answer. The box isn't real. How do I know this? Well, look at the scene here.
Okay.
I feel so many people are focused on the box and what's inside it that we forget to look at the rest of the image. A black background with a gray shadow circle underneath it. Where have we seen this before? Well, look at the ending of the game. A black background with a gray shadow circle. A scene we know isn't real. So if the box isn't real, then what does it represent? The answer? Mike's trauma and memories. The pieces put together. This is why when the box is open in FNAF World, we see seemingly nothing inside. Because the box is a metaphor for Mike's character. When he finally overcomes his trauma and sets his brother, sister, and the other children free, Mike moves on while the other children rest. The memories and trauma of the past fading away. symbolized by how the box opens and whatever
the
was
balloons
there is
fly
now
off.
gone. This explains why the trophy for the clock ending in FNAF World is the crying child no longer crying. But it isn't just FNAF World that supports this belief. The Silver Eyes alone confirm the idea of the main protagonist suppressing their memories and trauma inside of themselves. Just take a look at these few examples here. Granted, there are plenty more, but that will be covered in part 2. This interpretation explains why Scott...
But also he said that he wasn't gonna use the books to solve the lore of the games.
Yeah, I don't think I think he made a good case regardless.
No.
Because all he's proving is what the box represents. I think saying the box represents like trauma is a fair play. I don't think it's outrageous.
No, I do like the box representing the trauma, but I don't know. It's brain rot. It's brain rot o'clock. So.
God didn't think the community would accept it because what was inside was a metaphor and not a direct answer. I think Scott put it best here. Some things are best left forgotten forever.
I'm on whole wheat. All right.
Hey there,
That's
I'd like to thank you for
crazy.
watching through to this point.
Wow.
This last section is mostly for special thanks, so if you
that's
want to take
cool.
your leave, feel free. I do appreciate it if you did take the time to watch through this long video, and hopefully this theory made an impact in some way for how we look at FNAF. I had quite a bit of fun crafting this theory and just wanted to share my thoughts with all of you. FNAF is something that's special to me, like I'm sure it is to most of you. Regardless on if you agree with my theory or not,
Actually,
I encourage you to comment below what you think the original story was, and if there was any issues with this theory. I apologize again that part 2 isn't ready. These videos take time and to double check and ensure it makes sense. I don't think I'm going to be doing any more theory videos after part 2 comes out though. I mean, maybe if there's something I may have missed with this theory, I'd do another. Although, if you are looking for more theories, I recommend checking out my friend ZipperBomb's channel. I also want to give a big thanks to my good friend ZipperBomb actually, for always being there to listen and offer his thoughts on this theory. We spent so many nights just staying up late thinking about FNAF that I feel tired just thinking about it. He also made the amazing thumbnail renders for both parts, not to mention he is also publishing part 2 on his channel, so you might want to hit the notification bell for that. I'd also like to thank some of my good friendos: Eva, Alipine, Familiar Fan, Sapphire, Revi, Goji,
Eric the Audible, Michael Stark,
Bombnom, Mactus, Madzilla, Dylan's a Muffin, Sega, Sora, Stinker, Crow, and Uni
Point
for
Crow
having to deal with me discussing and sending them the theory to review and listen to. Their feedback was very crucial for me to make sure I wasn't giving into any confirmation bias, and that everything did make sense, bringing up suggestions and curveballs that would end up strengthening this theory even more than I could do alone. Next up, I'd like to thank a couple of theorists that inspired me to make this theory in the first place. Sire Squawks, for motivating me to really aim to hit every nail on the head when offering a theory that could simultaneously solve FNAF and disprove Dream Theory. Internet Inferno.
Is that new girl, that girl
and
FNAF
as a result,
theorist?
inspiring and influencing the theory that this video would craft. Silent N Productions, for introducing me to the headcanon of FNAF 4 MCI, as well as looking at theories from every possible angle. Seriously, every possible angle. FNAF.
Besides the fact that there are 5 missing
look at
kids.
everything from an alternate point of view. And while I think some tend to reach a bit and are hard to follow at times, others are really convincing and help me to think outside the box. Matt, the more me and Zipper spent time theorizing and coming to conclusions, the more our respect grew for you.
I really hope this is
FNAF
custom
made
art.
me
This is
understand
awesome.
and respect you and your
I
theories
think it
so
has
much
to be.
more than I
It's
had
relevant to the
before,
theory.
and honestly led to
It's
some good
Michael
laughs about some
holding
shared
on to his
experiences.
2 siblings.
While I
And
do
the-
disagree
the
with some of
sister has the
theories you
ponytail
presented
design.
before, I have to hand it to you when I say that most of the discoveries would not be made or be as known because of your teams and the community's efforts. If it weren't for your determination to make sense of FNAF, I don't think Scott would have given us the clues necessary to solve this story. Lastly, Scott Cawthon. Thank you, Scott. I hope that whatever you're doing next, you're satisfied with the new direction you're taking the story.
Thank you,
Me
Scott.
and my friends look forward to trying to solve the next chapter of FNAF. This theory gives me hope that you respect the story and that the pieces are there. We just have to find them.
You gotta put them together.
He's spitting.
I'm actually really curious to see if was Zipperbon, if Zipperbon has part 2 out right now. Not to watch it right now, but like goddamn. Oh, is that the end of the video?
We do not have a second theory.
Okay.
But that's fine. We'll keep an eye out on it.
Yeah, for sure.
The So I guess to give my thoughts on the theory again, I feel like a summary at the end would have been really, really nice. I actually don't like. I'll be honest with you. Having sat down and watched it, I don't feel like I have a conclusive like beginning and end. I have broad strokes: sister, puppet, brother, Golden Freddy,
and
also
Shadow Freddy.
Michael Afton, grieving brother becomes security guard during FNAF 1. But everything else sort of feels weird.
Yeah.
In terms of like what the theory was trying to prove. It feels like the theory was constantly it feels like the theory was trying to nail down details that I feel like were secondary.
Yeah, that were not as important as the other things, that it was just kind of like
It would have been nice. I think a summary would help a lot because I'm actually struggling right now to actually consider like what did we learn about FNAF here. The theory is that Dream Theory doesn't exist. That the
FNAF 4 is the nightmare about from Michael's perspective about his trauma. It's about trauma. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that the FNAF 4 kids are missing children incident kids. That's a big pull from this theory. But I just think, I mean, it's a beautifully made video. You can tell there's dedication.
Definitely.
There's thought put into it. And there's, I mean, a lot of great editing, a lot of great sourcing too. The one thing I'll say is I feel like at times it got tunnel vision. And it didn't see the bigger picture it was trying to paint. And I think it could have done a better job at sort of bite-sizing the lore dumps that it wanted to give.
I could definitely see that, yeah.
What are your thoughts, Michael? Did this convince you?
It was definitely interesting because I know a lot of the times that people will even just like be like, oh, a new person's trying to look at FNAF in a way that hasn't been viewed before, then just disregard it immediately. And I'm glad that that's not what we're doing. We actually went through it and we were watching, we were listening, we were following along as best we could, as well as like trying to understand what Joe was saying at the same time. It was definitely a lot. I actually did learn a few things about the development of FNAF, different correlations between characters that I didn't see before. The way things were worded stuck out to me more because of the context that Joe put them in. And I think that was really good. I really like that. But yeah, the thing is that it's not like he said at the beginning. It's not supposed to solve FNAF. It's supposed to be one. It's supposed to be like the way that he and I guess a few others interpreted it before Sister Location, and the story that Scott was trying to tell at that point.
Yeah, the case he was making was that Dream Theory is sort of universally accepted as the FNAF 4 intended ending.
And he was saying that that's not entirely
necessarily
correct.
the case.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the case. That there is this compelling story that exists outside of that. And there are things about that that I think are compelling. The puppet being an important character feels strange in Dream Theory.
Right.
I don't know where we get that from in Dream Theory, the puppet being an important character. And under this theory, it adds a new element to it. I actually really like how it recontextualizes these characters that we have for so long been calling Aftons. As well, we don't have that name at this point in this series.
And
so
we
what are they?
yeah, and it's not even like and in some cases giving them different identities, like in the case with Elizabeth and Charlotte becoming like the same character.
I had never thought about that before.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I had never considered that Scott had any intention with that girls' room. I never considered it.
It was just like, oh, it's a girls' room. Cool. All right, she's off somewhere.
Yeah, I thought he was leaving something there maybe in the future if he wanted to come back to it. But but the way he said the story was complete in this video, like the way the Steam post he brought up, really made me for the first time question, well then who is that girl supposed to be? Because clearly you don't leave an empty room in a game that you say is complete and say it's just nothing.
Right, and it's there for something for later when it's very clearly the end of a certain part of the story.
it happened multiple times throughout this theory where
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned it before. He presents an idea that on its face sounds ridiculous. That did contradict what the common fan base
Mm-hmm.
view of something was. And we scoffed at it and said, how in the world is he going to do this? And then he turns out to turn it around and make something that's like, oh, shoot, that actually makes sense. It's actually much more compelling than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
But what I guess, again, my main criticism of that is he's very good at that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's often used too much to get on tangents and to get into very little details that aren't as important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that would be my one. So we've had a few video editing criticisms, I think, of like the phone guy stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think script writing criticism would be focus on the broad strokes. And if you want to get into the details, you can, but then you need to refocus us back onto the broader story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm definitely agreeing with you there.
All right. Is there anything else you want to
There
say?
is actually one more thing that I have to show you. So I don't know if you been kind of like poking around at the other streams that I've done in the last few days.
I have not.
Okay, so the first stream that I did was on August 31st, and I did a fan art contest, and Clarence the Duck submitted something completely different from what was intended to be a part of the art project. It was actually a diss track on me as a character named Stu. And then yesterday, during the 100-hour stream, we got another one against Matt Righteous. So, earlier this morning, I was contacted by Clarence to show you something. He said it didn't really matter when, as long as I did it. Obviously,
you've been saving this for 3 hours.
I've been saving this
for 3 hours
until the very end. I'm hoping that it actually will play correctly for you.
Well, are they gonna be able to see it on your stream?
They will, because the way that the video plays is it's inset from the rest of the frame, so they definitely should be able to see it.
Okay.
And yeah, let's this is
what is this? This looks terrifying. What are you showing me?
I have not seen this.
This is
I have no clue what this is.
Horror. What do you mean? You're just gonna show me scream? Or you're gonna show me gore on stream? Why is it 1990?
There he is.
In a row, I didn't think it lasted some, but it's time that I spit it directly. You spit lower that for tons, and yes, I probably said it wrong, but after 2 series of songs, I'm getting a bit burdened, so I'm gonna make my lesson strong. Eric, you're dumb. Got it. Cool. You look like a fucking fool.
Hey.
And I don't want to sound like a nerdy freak, like Aaron failing to pass off as a YouTube geek. Yeah, you thought I was dumb when the shit I was made for on your third installment, but was everybody prayed for? It's half of what they came for, and you're to explain. You're the target of my brain source, creator of this lame gore. Pardon, Scott Coffin, /Mapad, /Phone Guy, maybe wouldn't be here if your games were bone dry and no bunnies on chickens and Freddy bears. Oh my, we would explain your game and your pictures where you look high. I don't get your dealio, what's it the season this is? Always shooting to expand other monotonous twists, but for real though, I'm being completely serious. How you gonna get rid of FNAF? We keep fucking Dermitibus? Anyways, where we? Oh yes, Eric, I forgot. From my experience, it's something that people say a lot. My lines are infectious like a virus when I pop off. Then I bastard you like I'm Brutus and turn pop-ups to pop-off. The chances of you coming back are impossible. Did you hear that? Looks like Eric is inaudible. The judge of Ryan Grimes, I think I brought up better, dude. Doesn't matter if you're Gary, I'm still a step ahead of you. Looks like this egghead has been cracked in a different way. I think I've said my piece and spoken my mistake. Eric, I got the grim M&M, and I must admit, I filled her with my feeling, and she gonna have some junior mints.
Oh, shit.
Thank you so much for the support. I'm glad you all liked Stu. I want to thank Matt and Michael for the future help and the exposure, obviously. I want to let you know that this is not the end of Stu Spitz, and while I do have, that is his full name, while I don't have exact plans for him currently, I'm sure Michael's community Discord server won't let me forget about him. Again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.
That's fucking crazy. Wow.
Also follow me on SoundCloud and subscribe to my YouTube channel because community is more than me and it makes me feel bad. Bye.
Dude, that part where it like actually became like a YouTube horror thing. Holy shit! Where was that? Where was that actually?
No, this is what got me is because if you listen to it, he like calls me out. Like,
yeah.
He actually like predicts it. It's insane. It's crazy.
You want to watch it again?
Like, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll watch it again.
I mean, it was so much. I couldn't react too much. I apologize. It was a lot to take in.
Yeah. Is the frame rate like okay? Is it watchable?
It's a little glitchy, but I mean, it's not like the video's too much.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
It got me so well.
No. So good.
Also, Michael, you look a little purple.
Third day in a row, I didn't think it messes some, but it's some that is true. That directly you spit lower that for tons, and yes, I probably said it wrong, but after 2 research signs, I'm getting a bit burdened, so I'm gonna make my lesson strong. Eric, you're dumb. Got it. Cool. You look like a fucking fool. And I don't want to sound like a nerdy freak, like Aaron failing to pass off as a YouTube geek. Yeah, you thought I was dumb and the shit I was made for. Ryan and third installment, but was everybody prayed for? It's half of what they came for, and you to explain. You're the target of my brain, source creator of the slime gore. Pardon, Scott Coffin / map pad / phone guy. Maybe wouldn't be here if your games weren't bone dry and no bunnies on chickens and Freddy bears. Oh my, we would explain your game and your pictures where you look high. I don't get your dealio. What's it the cease and desist? Always shooting to expand other monotonous twist, but for real though, I'm being completely serious. How you getting Anyway,
insane.
I forgot from my experience is something that people say a lot. My lights are infectious like a virus when I pop off. Then I backstab you like I'm Brutus and she'll pop up to pop off. The chances of you coming back are impossible. Did you hear that?
This is insane. I paused it. This is.
I was gonna say.
This is terrifying.
The next line, because you and I both just.
We were like,
and then the next line is crazy.
Fuck, dude. No,
the next line is crazy because they predicted it.
Yeah.
Like they predicted exactly my reaction.
Looks like Eric is an auto.
Oh, dude. The fucking, oh my god. This one was insane. This one was insane.
Has that been done in a rap battle? We need to steal that idea.
I think there was. Yeah, well, not like that specifically. I remember from I think we should take that actually. That's a really cool idea. But it was Marble Hornets versus Mandela Catalog by Dilly, where it was like, oh, you should, and then it was like the picture of a guy like hanging.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was like a comedic and like a oh shit type thing.
The judge of Ryan Crimes, I think I found a better dude. Doesn't matter if you're Gary, I'm still a step ahead of you. Looks like the sex head has been cracked in a different way. I think I've said my piece and spoken my mistake. Eric, I got the green M&M, and I must admit, I filled it with my feeling and she gotta have some junior mints.
So good.
Thank you so much for this.
Yeah. Dude, it's fucking
so good,
insane,
so good. Wow.
It was
incredible.
It was crazy.
Tell me that.
It was crazy. Oh man.
All right, well, if that's everything.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna go back to. We'll go back to this image. I guess. Yeah. It's just got the fucking
I think I could say,
the final chapter. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think I could say that. The first iteration of FNAF Boys was a rousing success. Thank you all for watching.
Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone who checked in throughout the stream. I know it was kind of lower viewer count than usual, but appreciate everyone that stopped by for real.
It was me. I did it.
What?
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'll see you guys
of course.
next time.
We'll see you guys in the next episode of FNAF Boys. We're hoping we get an actual logo. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, we hope you guys had a great time. We will see you. Oh, hold on. Make sure that you actually see me. We will see you guys in the next one. Well, peace out.